604 Talk 1073 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. Starting off your Thursday morning at 64 degrees. A little bit of fog out there depending on where you are. 64 in downtown Baton Rouge, broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio, 180pros.com. Is it time for your business or is it time for your IT to hit a 180? Visit 180pros.com. We got a busy show for you today. Haggai Davis could be in for a cup of tech gumbo a little bit later on this hour. We're talking with Speaker Philip DeVilliers in the 7 o'clock hour. We got Crimestoppers is back at it. We've got Ag Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain later on. So full board. Let's roll. Top stories and trending. Let's get it.
The biggest stories, the breaking news, the headline makers.
I think something is happening.
Top stories and trending, presented by Baton Rouge Metro Airport, starts now on Talk 1073. Number 5.
If you get a notice in the mail saying your medical debt has been erased, don't ignore it. Don't think it's a scam. More than 17,000 capital area residents are getting these notifications as part of a program that's a partnership between the Huey and Angelina Wilson Foundation, the Capital Area United Way, and the nonprofit Undo Medical Debt. All in, going to abolish about $22 million worth of medical debt for families. By the way, if you've got a ton of medical debt and did not get one of these notices, reach out to 211, just to the phone number 211. I'm not saying that that'll get erased. I'm saying there are many, many outlets to help you out with it.
Number 4.
Baton Rouge-based soft-serve technology company Crimejoy announces they have recently completed their multi-million-dollar Series A preferred stock fundraising round. They've also moved from their original office at LSU's Innovation Park to open up an expanded headquarters on Beaumont Drive.
Number 3.
Looks like Flo wants in on the auto insurance rate cuts. Progressive Security Insurance Company's request for a 6.6% average rate decrease on over 270,000 private passenger auto insurance policyholders, and Progressive Palo Verde Insurance Company's request for a 4% average decrease on nearly 200,000 policyholders have both been approved by Commissioner Temple.
Number 2.
We now know for certain the timeline to replace Paula Davis as the representative for District 69. Qualifying for the seat will be at the end of this month, 28th, 29th, and 30th. An election slated for the middle of March, runoff in April. Important to note, the session starts on March 9th, so this seat will be vacant at the beginning of the session. Also important to note, Davis' seat is the latest to open up in the 6th one that needs to be filled via special elections.
Number 1.
Mayor President Sid Edwards was the speaker at the Rotary Club meeting yesterday, giving his annual State of the City address. A couple of highlights the mayor did note. Coach said that when it comes to crime, literally every measurable statistic of crime was down last year. He also took a lot of time to talk about addressing the homelessness situation in Baton Rouge, noting specifically that 97 homeless people have been either taken off the street, sent through rehab programs, or reconnected with families.
There's a look at today's top stories. Now let's find out what's trending.
What you got, Breland?
This story was being talked about. ABC's David Muir even touched on it last night.
Yep.
State and federal officials in Minneapolis tell very different stories about the death of 37-year-old U.S. citizen Renee Good, who was shot and killed by an ICE agent yesterday.
Yeah, this is going to dominate conversation for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Nationwide. And we're not going to talk about it a whole lot on the show. Might have a guest on from ABC at some point, but like it's amazing how two people can watch the same video and walk away with completely different conclusions.
Right. That's what was being talked about. I'm like, what?
Because and by the way, both of them can be right. The people in Minneapolis can say that ICE agent murdered that woman.
Right.
And at the same time, people watching the video could say that woman tried to run down and drive over an ICE agent.
Right.
Both of those things happened. One person was hit, I believe, scraped by the car, but it looked like the gunshots came in through. They looked like the gunshots came in once the person was in the clear. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and that's what I saw too. Okay, lawmakers in the House of Representatives will vote today on whether to extend subsidies for more than 20 million Americans who get their health insurance through the ACA, the Affordable Care Act.
I was hoping to have Congressman Carter on. So on Tuesdays, we have Congressman Troy Carter on for DC Current. presented by LABI, and this was going to be our lead topic, but he was traveling today, or he was traveling this week, right in the middle of the phone when the phone call was supposed to be on. We gotta talk with his scheduler. Either get an earlier flight or a later flight, Congressman.
So we can get him on the phone.
I know. Come on.
Uncle Earl's is closing down, though possibly not permanently, saying in a Facebook post, while this may not be the final chapter, it is the end of an era. Oh, this makes me sad. I have so many memories at Uncle Earl's.
I have many fuzzy memories.
Fuzzy? Yeah, I would say mine are fuzzy too.
Legendary Baton Rouge bar, Uncle Earl's.
Yes.
It's and the crazy thing is like what today is January 8th. What, 2 months and 6 days from now is the Wearing of the Green Parade.
Right, in Earlapalooza.
And yeah.
What? Big names. Wasn't it 50 Cent one year? Or I don't know, but it's always big names.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I think 50 Cent did do it, but it's always these big names, these names that, how the heck did you do that and pull that off? And so my thing is, wow, man. And I did read online somewhere where, they posted it. If you have the gift cards, you can still use them at Jordan Piazza's restaurant. So that would be, would it be Slits and Giggles? It would be.
No, that's not his.
That's not his. No, but pretty much if you have a gift card to Uncle Earl's, you could use it at his other restaurants.
Okay, cool. Good to know. We're at 611 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, due up for our first break. Hey, before we take that break, is one of your New Year's resolutions about paying more attention to your mental health? If it is, and you've been battling with anxiety or depression, I highly, highly recommend the folks over at Neurojust. Neurojust, neurojust.com, Neurojust, neurojust.com. They specialize in something called transcranial magnetic stimulation. And this is basically just waking up the areas of the brain that affect mood. It's non-invasive. It's FDA approved. And oh, by the way, your insurance picks up the tab. It's a very important part of the equation right there. Look, there's really no reason to continue on with anxiety and depression that, you get the antidepressants, they don't really work. You sit down for the therapy, maybe you feel a little bit better, but it's not taking long term. This is not addressing the symptom. This is getting to the root of the problem. Learn more at neurojust.com.
Johnson says, good morning for us. Prayers for us as we will be funeralizing our son that was killed Christmas morning on Saturday.
Oh, no. Right there with you, Rob. We'll be praying for you. Right, we'll be praying right along with you. We felt like in this case got a chance.
Good morning, Renee.
6:15, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. LSU women's basketball coming up this evening. You're home for LSU women's basketball all season long, right here on Talk 107.3 FM. Ladies are 0-2 in conference play, and man, it doesn't get any easier. They will be, let's see, Thursday. There we go. Make sure I have the right date lined up, and you will hear them at 5:30 p.m. They'll be right here on Talk 107.3. 5:30 tip-off as they are at Georgia. Okay, Georgia, what do they bring to the table? How about a 15-1 record? 15-1 to start off the season. 1-1 in SEC play are the Georgia Bulldogs. 5 p.m. airtime. Patrick Wright, Shaida Williams will be on the call for the LSU Sports Radio Network. Yours truly will be producing that one. And hopefully this is, it's tough enough to get road wins in conference play, but when you get your back against the wall, starting off 0-2, getting to spark that fire a little bit. So we will be dialed in on Kim Mulkey's Tigers tonight. Meanwhile, Saints general manager Mickey Loomis spoke with the media yesterday, sort of, I guess. He speaks to the media before and after the season every year and says absolutely nothing. Talking about the team's 6-11 season, talking a little bit about rookie quarterback Tyler Shuck finishing on a 5-4 run when it comes to his record as a starter. Loomis says the organization knew Shuck could end up becoming the quarterback of the future.
We felt like, man, this guy's got a chance to be a real good quarterback in the league, and that's why we drafted him. So probably progressed a little faster than maybe we expected, but I think our coaches did a great job with him. I think our players embraced his opportunity, and obviously the player himself embraced his opportunity.
See, yes, great. I understand. I'm looking forward to Shuck in the future. But why is it when Mickey Loomis says it, the first question that comes up is, then why did you run Spencer Rattler out there to a 1-7 record before making the move? Great. You're a genius in hindsight. Understand that. And you can't discredit the draft that they had and some of the acquisitions that they made. He's starting to put this team back together. Yes. I don't know. Just for some reason, when he says it out loud, it's like, well, if you knew, then why didn't you know? Keeping with that, looking ahead to next year, Loomis says winning a division title is, of course, one of the organization's biggest goals for next season, but maybe even more than that.
We're going to approach it the same way. How do we improve enough to win the division? And we don't want to just win the division. We don't want to be an 8-8 or 8-9 winning team in the division. We want to win the division, be dominant, and have a chance to make a run in the playoffs. So that's what our goal is going to be.
8th pick in this year's draft. A good 2025 rookie class for the Saints. They've got the 8th pick in the draft to follow it up. The general manager, of course, Mickey Loomis, believes the front office will be able to maybe take a little bit of a different approach this draft, different than what we've seen in past drafts.
I think we're going to be in a position to take the best player that's available that can impact our team, as opposed to, we have to have this position or that position. Obviously, there'll be positions that we prefer, but I don't think we're going to be in a position where, hey, we have to get this particular position. So I'm excited about that.
All right. There's good and bad to that. Obviously, there's good in it that you have a little more leeway if you want to say trade off a pick, which they never do. But you also, the bad in it is that going in, you still have enough spots on the roster that need real help to where no matter who you get, you're leaving places unserved or underserved if you get somebody in later rounds. So, meanwhile, college football playoff picks up again tomorrow night. It will be Miami taking on Ole Miss. No, that's not tomorrow night. That's tonight. I'm sorry. Miami and Ole Miss is tonight, and then 6:30 is your kickoff for that one. All right, it's 6:20. Time for the Fox Business Report. Morning. You want to hop in a segment early? I was planning on talking about Sid Edwards yesterday at the Rotary meeting. You were there. You had takeaways. No scoop. She's just done. She wants to. Hang on. We are actually looking really good on your interstates, with the exception of I-12 westbound coming in from Denham Springs. Those delays that we've been, well, I don't want to say we've been waiting on delays to return, but they are back now for sure, as everyone's back at school as of yesterday, and everyone's back to the normal routine with the new year in full swing. Coming in from Livingston Parish into East Baton Rouge on 12 westbound. Gonna be slow going around the Range Avenue off ramp. Outside of that, your interstate systems look good. Everything else is moving the way it should be. 10 East coming in from West Baton Rouge, 10 West coming in from Ascension, as well as 110 North and southbound. Want to add to this, as you're on 12 westbound, getting back over that way, it picks back up after Range Avenue, but it's going to slow back down again once you get close to Sherwood Forest, because there is a stalled vehicle in the roadway right now, 12 west by Sherwood. Surface streets, be on the lookout for an accident, Winburn and Jubin. And is that right? Yeah, that's what it says. Traffic crash and roadway, Winburn and Jubin. And there's a hit and run on Cedar Ridge Avenue, but it looks like it's on private property, so you probably don't have to worry about that one. That's really good traffic from the Talk 173 Traffic Center. .24 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Got to take a quick moment to remind you about the folks over at Mathern's. Don't forget, the big deal this week is Supreme Rice 5-pound bag, $2.49, $2.49 for a 5-pound bag of Supreme Rice. I know some colder weather's rolling through this weekend, so we might have gumbo weather right back on the forefront for early next week. If you wanted to swing by Mathern's, grab that 5-pound bag of Supreme Rice. Also, don't forget, king cakes are in full swing, y'all. Shortened carnival season. Don't hesitate. Don't wait too long. Get by any of the Mathern's locations to get your king cakes. Downtown on 3rd Street, Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center, directly across the street from Tiger Stadium, or Highland Road, just west of Kenilworth. They've got you covered at all three. And I always remind you about the Mathern's Rewards app. And I've got to give a quick shout out real quick, because that app has taken it up to another level. I was opening up my what's on sale part from the app yesterday. Come to find the selection of wine, like, oh yeah, it's calling me, y'all. Raymond Napa Valley Cabernet Sauvignon on sale right now. Luke Belair Rosé on sale right now. It's just, when you have the app, you have every discount in the store right at your fingertips. So download the Mathern's Rewards app today. Nope. No, that's not yet. Tech Gumbo comes up in our next segment. All right, 625 at Talk 107.3 FM. Now, that being said, Haggai Davis is in the house. Welcome aboard, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great, Brian.
We are going to get into Tech Gumbo in just a little bit, but you and I are both members of the Rotary Club.
Yes.
You having already been president, and
I was
during the COVID year.
I was.
Which, that was like technically my first year as a member. And I was like, I had no grasp of what the club actually was, because everything was over Zoom. Everything was over video conference. So anywho, every year it is a tradition with the Rotary Club. The first meeting of the year is the mayor-president's State of the City address.
Dating back to the 1960s.
Wow, it goes back that far.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Sid Edwards gave his address yesterday. And since you were in the room and I was in the room, I figured we'd share some takeaways from what went down, the state of Baton Rouge.
I thought it was great. It was a very positive speech. He was very, very honest with who he is, and that, he said, look, a year ago I was a coach and I knew nothing about politics, and I'm still learning how to be a politician, and was very upfront about that, which I I found very refreshing.
Same. And there's two sides to that coin, because that was my starting point as well. When he said, everything I've done up until now has been a coach. Well, when he was running, he was very heavy into that. He was very lean on, like, I'm not a politician, just continue to call me. And we still continue to call him coach, and we always will. But the fact that he's embracing the job, the fact that he's not trying to aw shucks his way through it.
Right.
Look, I love Sid Edwards. There's a bit of aw shucks to his overall character, right?
Sure.
But, like, the fact that he has said, like, I've been on a learning curve all year long, and I will continue to be on that learning curve. That was a big takeaway for me, was he didn't just treat this like I am who I am, and the role is going to be whatever I make it. He's adapting to the role as opposed to wanting the role to adapt to him, or keeping both lanes of the street open.
While still using a whole lot of sports analogies in his presentation.
He uses more than me, which is not easy.
I mean, I loved how he said, look, this is not the end. This is only the end of the first quarter.
He said that on the show. He said on this show in December, when we had him on for his year in review, he said exactly, this is just the end of the first quarter. And I'm like, that's perfect.
And really, I mean, the mayor lasts 4 years,
right?
His term.
Well, the
term lasts for 4 years. So, so he finished the first year, finished the first quarter. And, he said, look, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not going to sit up here and bore you with a whole lot of detailed numbers, but things are trending in the right direction.
Literally every measurable statistic of crime was down last year.
Yes.
And I went back and double checked. And by the way, Chief TJ Morse will be on with us on Tuesday, 7:35. And we can triple check it then, but he's not wrong.
No. And then when, he took some questions from the audience, and he didn't shy away from any of them. I thought his best answer was from the high school student who asked the question, what have you learned about being the mayor president?
Yeah. And we got 1 minute till break, and we'll do Cup of Tech Gumbo after the break. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about what went down yesterday. My biggest takeaway, aside from the adapting to the role, is you're hard pressed to find a politician who's able to say the 3 words, "I don't know."
Mm-hmm.
And he still has that level of humility.
And just he's positive. He said, look, things aren't good. I mean, things aren't bad. He very, very went out of his way to say, look, it's not about any of the predecessors or what I inherited. I'm just talking about from January last year going forward.
Yeah.
And I really, really appreciated that.
Yeah. Oh, think about it. When John Bel Edwards was governor, he was still blaming things on Bobby Jindal on his last day.
Right.
After 8 years. Sid Edwards was like, no, slate's clean. Everything's on me. There's a lot more to talk about from yesterday's State of the City address. We'll pick it up at a later time. Right now, here's news.
Did the door handle break on the... Oh, okay.
Pick it up at a later time, right?
I heard y'all talking about that shooting up there. That's gonna be hard. I mean, like, I saw what the mayor saw. I didn't see.
You have a snippet of video. We all feel like we have the whole story.
Right. Absolutely.
There's nothing in that video that shows you that woman had been following them and harassing them for hours and threatening them for hours.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard. I don't know that for sure because it's not in the video.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's part of the story, then that woman posed no threat. She was leaving. Well, first of all, she hit somebody with the car, as I understand it. So she wasn't no threat. But at the same time, though, and there's another part of this too. There's a very good lesson to be learned about what can happen when you're minding other people's business. It shouldn't be a death sentence, but if that woman's going about her life rather than worrying about what ICE is doing, she put her politics and minding other people's business ahead on her priority list of her children.
Mm-hmm.
She felt that minding ICE's business was a bigger deal in her life than her children were. She made the decision to be up their ass. And I sound like a heartless asshole because of it.
No, but you have a point.
She should not have been shot. And I feel like every third sentence I need to go back to that. She should not have been shot.
Should have not been shot.
Right.
Agreed.
I don't think I could say that enough. But at the same time, though, actions have consequences. And that's not a political threat. That's physics.
You know, you sit there and you get sucked up by social media and tells you need to get out there and do this.
Yeah. And social media is going to get even more active with it.
Oh, it's going to be
More.
insane.
It's just taken off.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I wouldn't be surprised because they already do. Celebrities start, how they always want to stick their nose in things, and it's gonna blow up.
Talk 1073 Traffic Center.
Matt Nange, or should I say Matt? Accident 12 West, just past Denham Springs.
12 West where?
12 West, just past Denham Springs.
Well, that's probably why I saw the backup.
Mm-hmm. I don't think he covered it just now.
He didn't.
Yeah.
Does it go straight into spots here, or do you have a room to kick it to me?
It does. It goes straight to spot.
Okay.
You want to cover it on the back?
Before weather.
Before weather? Okay. Pause. Can I pause on here?
No, don't worry about it. Let it roll. You can, but you end up missing a spot because when you hit play again, it'll jump to the next.
Just cover it on the back end.
Any particular story you wanted to go with?
Oh, shoot. I closed it back out so I could print something else.
I think that Tesla not trademarking the cyber cab's kind of funny.
Thanks, Matt.
Prison phone cell jamming. That's a good story.
Did your son go back?
Yeah.
I think they're about to get another round of snow. I'm like, goodness. New York hasn't seen snow like this in years.
Well, it usually snows in New York City, in the city, maybe once a year.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they're so close to the Atlantic. I mean, they're on the Atlantic. But I mean,
times already this year?
I don't know.
Well, last year too. Yeah. I say this year, but
Weather's built in the log now, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Weather used to come out of Adobe. That's why they used to be break.
You got to take care of this because you.
Well, no, it's better this way. When it was out of Adobe, you had the break to come back to me for the traffic update.
That's what you were saying.
That's what I was saying.
Because I was like, how do I pause it? That's what I was trying to say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting you now.
Yeah, I saw the prison jamming phone calls thing. The 911 calls don't go to the prison.
No, but if you're walking around in the prison as a guard and need to call 911, or if it does.
Let's
we'll
get
into that one.
We'll talk about that. .636 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. You know we're on Facebook Live every day and YouTube Live for that matter, courtesy of the folks over at Lake Urgent Care. And if you're over there on Facebook Live, you can hop in the chat, get active and involved in the show. And I want to give a shout out to Matt, who's in the chat. Matt, who's in the chat, who lets us know. I was talking about in our traffic report earlier, the slowdowns on 12 westbound coming in from Denham Springs. Well, apparently that is due to an accident. I believe he said it was in between the Range Avenue exit and the Amite River Bridge. So you're going to be pumping the brakes a little bit harder than normal. It's not enough to make you want to alter your route yet, but I didn't hear about it in our last traffic report. So wanted to make sure we were covered.
In 12 West.
12 West. That's what I said.
That's
what I said.
Yeah.
12 West, just past Denham Springs. Awesome. It is time for Cup of Tech Gumbo. Let's roll.
A Cup of Tech Gumbo on Talk 1073.
I'm sorry, wrong password.
All right, Haggai, let's dig in, man.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot of ground to cover today. I want to start off. In prison, if we could. We're gonna get to On 3 a little bit, and
all right.
Rock and all that, because
Yeah.
that's probably my favorite story of the week.
Okay.
But let's start off with there is. I got to get all the way back up to it. I scrolled down way too far in your 400 pages of prep. Letting prisons jam contraband phones is a bad idea, phone companies tell the FCC. So an FCC proposal to let state and local prisons jam contraband cell phones has support from Republican attorneys general and prison phone companies, but faces opposition from wireless carriers that say it would disrupt lawful communications. Let's talk about this. How much will it jam up lawful communications?
Well, the problem with these jamming signals, and this is not new technology. It's been around for a long time, obviously. You're not able to use a laser and micro, jam a certain area. You're throwing a big, huge, wide net.
What?
And so
that's not like a scene in National Treasure when Nicolas Cage jumps off that pier?
Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe that was a little Hollywoodish.
Man.
So when you're throwing these jamming signals out and you're in the, let's say you're at the Baton Rouge airport. What is the Baton Rouge airport right next to?
The prison.
Yes. Let's say you're flying into LaGuardia in New York. You fly right over Rikers Island on final approach.
Okay.
So if all of a sudden you're jamming and that signal just doesn't get quite as controlled as you want it to be, now you're screwing with the airlines.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing.
That is not a good thing. See, I was thinking more about Dixon or Elaine Hunt
or Angola, sure.
Or, yes.
But oh, by the way, there's a lot of planes that fly right over Angola too on their approach into BTR.
Okay, so when you jam up a signal, how high up does that go?
Well, it just depends on how strong the burst you're throwing out there.
Okay.
And it's not as exact as one would hope it to be. It also does not just affect cellular. It can also affect the Wi-Fi.
And that was my biggest question is what's the frequency, Kenneth? Let's go.
It can affect the two-way radios.
Yeah.
And so when you're a guard walking around and need to communicate back to the tower or whoever, and that two-way radio is all of a sudden being jammed because it bled over into the signal of where it was being jammed, this is not a good thing.
Okay, tell me why that a walkie-talkie, Wi-Fi, a Nokia flip phone, and a Boeing 747 can all be jammed up by the same thing. Why is this not like, okay, the phone's on this and the airplane's on that?
So you have bandwidths where signals work. If you're in the 900 megahertz signal, or if you're in the 2.4 or the 5 gig, where different segments work, where phones are in this segment. If your handheld radio is in the 800 megahertz, but you're trying to block the 900, it's just close enough to where it may affect the signal. I don't know. I've never tried it. From what we read when we were looking at this, there's enough bleed over between the bandwidths as to where this jamming stuff can happen that's going to affect other wireless communications. And that's the biggest problem. If you're out there in Angola and the planes aren't flying directly over, or they're staying up at 10,000 feet and it's not bothering you, okay, there's not another businesses around Angola. But if you're at the East Baton Rouge Parish Jail, there are other businesses right around, including the Baton Rouge Airport. And so it's when AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, CTIA, when all of these industry experts come out and say, wait, this is not a good idea because there's too much additional bleed over. That's where, and it's not that, they're all agreeing having all the cell phones in all the prisons is a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
All that the contraband phones and the communications that the prisoners are having on the outside is a bad thing. It should be shut down.
Yes.
But the jamming of the signal using with available technology is not a good way to do it.
Then what is? This is where we run into this everywhere we turn, in every facet of life. We see a problem, we recognize there's a problem, we say the problem's bad, and then we poop all over the solutions. So what's the good solution?
Keeping the phones out.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Let me ask you this instead. Would it be easier to listen to the phones? Is that technology available?
Not as easy as you would want it to be. The digital signals are, encrypted. If you would have to be able to drill down into that specific phone, you'd have to know that number when it was being used. You would have to just listen just for it to work. It's not like the analog cellular days where you could listen to whatever analog communication was going on out there.
Right.
So no, it's not that easy.
All right. What about potential improvements to technology? Is there a workaround to where, not today, but a couple of years from now, we could be where we would be able to zero in on what we need versus hitting everything in general?
I would hope so. I'm because I'm not in the research world of it. You would think that we would be able to drill this thing down so that the jammers are only going to work on specific signals, and stay in exact frequencies where the cell phones are working, and not bleed over into the Wi-Fi bandwidth or bleed over to the two-way radios or any of the other problems, or not, leak out of the buildings and affect the outside world. But apparently that's not where we are yet.
We got Haggai Davison for a cup of tech gumbo. Let me keep an eye on the clock here to make sure we stay on time, because we got a good couple minutes here. There's a couple of different grok stories that we need to talk about today.
Yeah.
The first one, well, we'll get to the on-3 one on the back end of the break because I want to make sure we have room to run. But let's start here. X's, or Twitter's AI grok, is removing clothing from pictures of people without their consent and following a rollout of a feature that allows Twitter users, X users, to instantly edit any image using the bot without needing the original poster's permission.
Yes, grok is a problem. It is their OpenAI with their ChatGPT and Gemini's, or Google's Gemini. They're trying to put some guardrails on their LLMs to prevent this kind of thing. OpenX or Grok or whatever, they just don't care over there.
Yeah.
It is just the cesspool of all cesspools. And they're young girls are showing up with, in pictures and being passed around, where Grok is, you throw in their photo in and say, hey, show me a nude photo of them, and boom, all of a sudden these pictures are created and sent all over. They're doing this, and I will say, Sora and Google's products, they are stopping the nudity portion.
Yeah.
There's still some creepy things that people can do with it's still generative AI and it's still the internet. So people are still out there doing things, but Grok just doesn't care.
What would it take to make Grok care?
Probably changing the leadership.
Okay.
The guy who owns it.
How?
Getting somebody else to run it. Getting somebody else up there who cares, because I don't think Mr. Musk does.
I don't think he does, but I think if you use Grok the right way, you can motivate him pretty quickly. I mean, if we want to edit pictures of Elon Musk to have a tiny little dinkum, then
he'd think it's funny.
You think?
There was already a video, a picture of him dressed in a bikini, and he loved it.
In a bikini?
Well,
I mean, all right, we got a break. Come back. Another Grok story on the back end. This is a Cup of Tech Gumbo as part of Mornings with Brian Haldane on Talk 107.3.
In a bikini?
Yeah, lose the bikini.
Lord, y'all.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you really want to embarrass Elon?
I'll be honest, Haggai, I've used Grok. It freaks me out. I'd rather chat GPT. If I need something on the fly, I'm not using Grok.
I use ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, Perplexity, Claude. I use all 5 of those. I never, ever go to Grok. I don't like, I very seldom go to Twitter anymore. And I used to live on Twitter. But
let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Twitter never took off down here, did it? Not like the big cities.
oh yeah, it was
It was pretty.
yeah, I mean,
But people just aren't using it anymore, are they?
no.
Not like they were.
So Twitter never had the numbers that a Facebook did or Instagram or something like that.
But there was a time where it was.
But let's start off with
The most
Grok and all
Twitter
that.
ever had was about 350 million active users, whereas Facebook has 2 billion.
Oh yeah. Okay. It's
So-
not even apples to apples.
No, and so the people went to Twitter for instant news, instant access to something, but then they went to Facebook to play.
Right. So, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Nashville's Big Bash. They did the CBS. Sorry. You had Dick Clark's Rock New Year's Eve on ABC. CBS runs Nashville's Big Bash. When it went off network, and they had to do Matlock. I don't know why it went off, but it went off for 12 minutes. I'm like, what the hell? Facebook wasn't telling me. So I went to X and I typed in Nashville's Big Bash. Boom, everybody's talking about it.
Mhm.
So if I need instant,
That's
what's
what
going on?
that's what Twitter always has been, was the instant. Hey, there's a shooting, like watching LSU football games. I used to love to sit there with Twitter, keeping up
Because
with
it was in real time.
it was the people sitting in the press box posting their things, and my friends who weren't, they were posting things, and you could have a conversation about the game on Twitter in the middle of the game. Whereas Facebook, you go back and say, "Oh, we lost last night,"
I know you're not going to start a full-blown conversation on your news feed on Facebook.
No. Twitter was for right now, what's happening now. And that's the. But when Musk took it over and called it X, and everybody got hyper political on it, I
Way too political.
I mean, it just
Now, what is this Sora? Because I keep seeing that on TikTok. That's
Sora is a generative AI.
okay.
That's where you can go and create videos.
of fake Disney movies.
Gotcha. Are these over-the-top AI videos that's on TikTok right now? Like,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, not to be, but there was this really big woman.
Any-
She's like jumping off of something. I'm like, that's AI.
Anything you see on the internet right now,
Yes.
any picture, any video, you have to assume it was created with generative AI.
If someone were to create a Grok video of Elon Musk raping someone
He'd
and
think
send it to the police,
it was funny.
and the police, well, I'm just saying, there is a level to which you can agitate his life through his own software.
You can look at the metadata though on the video and realize that you can drill into that and find out, oh yeah, that's fake. Now you're going to publicly embarrass him for a while, but then he's just going to come and say, here's the metadata. It's fake. AI generated. I didn't do that.
Yeah. Which is fine. If he spends his entire life defending himself, it will eventually get to where he'll want to solve the problem.
He's the richest person on the planet. He
I understand
doesn't
that.
care.
I understand that.
You want to hurt him, you see his Tesla world crumble. You NASA says, look, we're going to stop working with SpaceX. We're going to go work with Blue Origin or somebody else. That'll hurt him.
Who is this girl? And good morning, Christy. Welcome in. 652 Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Cup of Tech Gumbo with Haggai Davis, rolling right along as well. We got another Grok story to dig in on. And this one, I think, so Haggai, you and I were talking during the break, and I am of the belief that if you disturb Elon Musk's daily routine enough with enough things that are just a nuisance, I think we can eventually see something. But and you're of the belief that he's the richest man in the world and he just doesn't care. I hear you. I find it hard to believe that someone can maintain that status with a million different rocks flying at any given time.
He's not normal.
I know that he's not normal. That's what makes him Elon in the first place.
Exactly. And so, I could be wrong. I just don't think he's somebody who gets affected by things like that.
Yeah.
You take away his toys like SpaceX or Tesla, that affects him.
Well, and I'm sure there are things that can lead to that.
There are.
Yeah. So, all right. Keeping it with Grok. The headline reads, On3 turns off X replies to prevent Grok bypassing the paywall. Like most message board-centric college football websites, On3's business model relies heavily on subscriptions, which means writers and insiders often put information behind paywalls, accessible only to paying subscribers. However, last year, those paywalls began to face a new threat with AI. With college football transfer portal season in full swing, On3 has been providing regular updates on their highly coveted players in the portal, routinely keeping the latest information from their insiders behind the paywall. By the way, no paywall at louisianasports.net. Oh, by the way, just side note right there, you're getting everything as close to real time as possible, and it's not subscriber based.
And I love that website. Great content.
If I see Hunt in the hallway, I just offer him a bottle of water like you would a marathon runner. Boy,
yeah,
he is just, he's nonstop between Hunt and Moscona and everybody that contributes over there does a great job. With portal season, it's like it's like a heavyweight fight. All right. So taking things that are behind the paywall and moving them to the other side.
So what was happening is, because a lot of college football media is on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. People were going, when they would post tease the stories on X. And so what people were doing is they would click on the link or go to that story and say, okay, Grok, summarize the story for me. And Grok would give a summary instead of them having to go pay the subscription and get behind the paywall to see the article. The problem is Grok's not very good, and it would continuously give bad summaries. There was one instance where there was a kid who was transferring out of Oregon to some other school, and 4 different people did the Grok bypass and had that same student transferring from 4 different schools to 4 different schools.
Awesome.
And so even when they were using the Grok, hey, go do a summary for me to get behind the paywall, they weren't getting good information. That's the problem with Grok. It's not a good product.
Okay. So as it's not a good product, why is it so popular?
Well, because if you want to see things that you can't see on other sites, Grok will do it for you.
Let me re-ask the question, because those things are going to be inaccurate. So if it's not a good product, if it's not delivering accurate information, if I want to see something from a website, if I want to see something from behind a paywall, fine. But if it's going to be wrong, why would I seek out something that's going to be wrong in the first place?
Well, so you've got ChatGPT and Google's Gemini and those types. They have tried to put some guardrails so that you can't go behind the paywalls. New York Times is currently right now suing OpenAI over that exact same thing. And so the more reputable, if we shall use that phrase, companies, these large language models are trying to prevent their LLMs from actually doing the summaries.
So you're answering from like the On3 side and the subscription side. Let me re-ask the question one more time because I asked it poorly. Okay. How long does it take before the public says enough is enough? You're giving us BS and we don't want it anymore.
Well, if you're on 3, you're just telling people that's on you. You're using grok.
I'm not worried about On3.
But if you're the
or
public,
the Wall Street Journal or anybody else would have a paywall.
If you're Joe, internet user out there and you're hopping on grok and you're thinking, oh man, I got scoop here. I didn't have to pay for this. You
take it back to your own Facebook page or your own Twitter page or whatever, and everybody calls you a moron because you're posting the wrong thing. How long does it take for the public to say, I'm not even seeking that anymore because I know that it's garbage?
Well, when you look at the total usage of all of the LLMs and you see how minimal grok is used compared to the others, there's your answer.
Right. And then can we trend in that direction?
Oh, I mean, grok's usage, their numbers are not going up.
Right.
The way ChatGPT or Gemini or Perplexity or Claude's or Copilot, any of those other LLMs, those numbers are going just hockey stick up. Whereas grok's is increasing, but at a minimal increase.
We need to get rid of it. I mean, just it across the board, because there's so much danger in where we're headed right now that actively leading us off of a cliff is going to lead us off of a cliff.
It's not a good thing.
No, I completely agree on that front. I just want to expedite its departure. We've got less than a minute to go. What else on the show this week?
So France is now considering the same social media ban for under 15-year-olds, the way Australia did. Australia, they launched their ban for 16 and for under 16 back December 10th. So they're a full month into this now. And the early reports are it's a good thing. So now France is taking up that same legislation. If it passes in France, it'll probably pass in the whole EU. At some point, maybe that happens in the United States.
Doubtful. I mean,
we can't agree on the time of day. So
correct.
Probably not.
All right. He's Haggai Davis. You can catch the full serving of Tech Gumbo Saturdays and Sundays right here on Talk 107.3 FM. And of course, everywhere you get your podcasts on demand. Always free. Oh, by the way, thanks for filling in over the holidays.
Oh, that was fun.
Most of it was, I heard.
We got real creative.
Here comes the news. Hour 2 is next.
Let's see. Speaking of social media,
Lord, was that fun? I was like, Haggai, everything's going down.
All right, Twitter was hyper political long before Elon owned it, and was a cesspool.
It was.
By the way, thanks for filling in over the holidays. Oh, that was fun. Most of it was, I heard. We got real creative. Here comes the news. Hour 2 is next. Rock and all that. That was.
So what you got coming up this weekend?
Boys basketball's back at it. Fourth grade boys. I know. James is a project. He's a lot less aggressive than his sisters. And the second he touches the ball, he wants to get rid of it. Like it's on fire. And when we go out in the driveway, when we go out in the street in front of the house, he can catch, he can pass, he can dribble. And he's got good handles. It's not the prettiest thing in the world, but he can do it well. And as soon as he's out there with the other boys, he's just scared to death. And I don't know how to get him over that hump without like paying other kids to beat him up. I don't know.
God, Brian.
Just keep giving him the ball.
And I honestly, a lot of this is on me because I don't have enough time to work with him. It would be nice if like we could go over to, go over to the gym or like someplace with a real court and actually work on it because we don't have a goal at the house. Because we have a short driveway that's super sloped, and we have a street. And we put a goal in the street before, facing out the street. Yeah, it was destroyed within 24 hours, like broken in half. So, any Hoosers, there's not enough time in the day with all of that. I'm just working way too much. I know, cats in the cradle, right? So.
Yeah.
But like, I want to go up there with other people, not just me and him. The more he can 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, the better he'll be at it. So we'll be in a tournament at Sportsplex next weekend. Where he's at right now, and I'm gonna end up getting he's going to get a personal trainer eventually. Same way Abby has one. But where he's at right now, I don't think he's ready to be thrown in the deep end. I worry that he would just shut down and not want to play the game. And he likes the game. So,
do you have an hour on Saturday morning? Go over there to the one of the courts with the gym, the basket down low, and just spend an hour.
Yeah. So an hour? When does that happen?
I know. I get it. How's Carrie Hagen?
Holy shit. 3.6.
Nice.
So she made the dean's list her first semester. Yeah. She's loving it. Boyfriend's okay. He's all right. Matthew's his name. He's from Mobile. Auburn fan. Pels fan.
So he's not very bright.
We haven't gotten into the Mardi Gras discussion yet. I don't think he's ready for me to punch him in the face. Because people from Mobile believe they invented Mardi Gras when they did not. And I try to explain in very simple terms. And no matter how you break it down, 1699 happened before 1703. There's no other way to break that down. The first Mardi Gras celebration in New Orleans was in 1699 when Eberville and Bienville landed at the Mardi Gras. And they didn't have a parade. They had a celebration. Mobile threw a parade 4 years later. Congrats, you throw moon pies. Dickheads. Enjoy your dog track. You ever been to the dog track in Mobile? It's fun. Yeah, it actually is pretty fun. Oh, you too, brother. Appreciate it. I really am a heartless a-hole.
What happened?
I really am a heartless a-hole. It's like, yeah, I know. I just
want your kid to get beat up and shit.
7:05 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Hour 2 coming your way right now. 65 degrees in downtown Baton Rouge to start off your second hour. Might still have some fog out there as we are still under a dense fog advisory, but it's a lot patchier than it was earlier in the week. Brian here with you, Bria Lynn producing. Of course, we are in the 180 Pros studio in downtown Baton Rouge. 180pros.com is the website. Not your IT provider, your IT partner, 180 Pros. Busy hour this hour. We got Speaker Philip DeVilliers on with us, and I was supposed to text him to remind him, dadgummit. Speaker Philip DeVilliers on with us in our next segment. We got Crimestoppers coming up a little bit after that. But before we get to anything, let's get to top stories and trending.
Want to know what everyone's talking about?
I'm talking the truth.
Here's a quick peek with top stories and trending.
Yeah, sounds good.
Presented by Baton Rouge Metro Airport on Talk 107.3.
Give me one quick second. Sorry. Making sure the next guest is lined up.
Brian's texting in real time over here.
All right, where are we at? Number 5?
We are. Go ahead.
All right. Son of a gun. If you get a notice in the mail saying your medical debt is being erased, don't ignore it. Don't think it's a scam. More than 17,000 capital area residents are getting these notifications as part of a program that's a partnership between the Huey and Angelina Wilson Foundation and the Capital Area United Way and a nonprofit called Undo Medical Debt. It's going to abolish nearly $22 million in debt total. By the way, If you are not the recipient of one of these notifications, Capital Area United Way does have help via calling 211.
Number 4.
Baton Rouge-based soft-serve technology company Cremjoy announces they have recently completed their multi-million-dollar Series A preferred stock fundraising round, and they're moving. They're moving out of the LSU Innovation Park. They're opening up a new headquarters over on Beaumont Drive.
Number 3.
Looks like Flo wants in on the auto insurance rate cuts. Progressive Security Insurance Company's request for a 6.6 average rate decrease on their more than 270,000 private passenger auto insurance policyholders, and Progressive Palo Verde Insurance Company's request for a 4% average decrease on nearly 200,000 policyholders. They've both been approved by Commissioner Temple.
Number 2.
We now know for certain the timeline to replace Paula Davis as the representative for District 69. Qualifying for the seat will be at the end of this month with an election slated for the middle of March, runoff in April. A couple of points to note here. Number 1, the regular legislative session is an early one this year. They get started on March 9th, which will be 5 days prior to the general election, which means a good month ahead of the runoff election. Also important to note, Paula Davis isn't the only seat that still needs to be replaced. In February, there will be 5 other elections for 5 other seats.
Number 1.
Mayor President Sid Edwards addressed the Rotary Club yesterday for his annual State of the City address, a tradition that I learned last hour began back in the 60s. Mayor President Edwards talked about a lot of different positive things going on in and around Baton Rouge. Spent some time talking about the homeless specifically, noting that 97 homeless persons, either through treatment, rehab, or being reunited with their families, have been taken off the streets of Baton Rouge.
There's a look at today's top stories. Now let's find out what's trending.
What you got?
All right.
Berlin?
Before we even hop into this list, very quickly. So 11 o'clock last night, I'm on 100.7 The Tiger. So
Yes.
I'm reading the headlines. I see Alan Jackson and I'm like, wait, hang on. And I had to dig into the story. So Alan Jackson is Nick Reiner's attorney. He had to step down with that whole arraignment yesterday in Los Angeles. Didn't even start yet because he's like, I'm out.
Really?
Yep. His attorney's out. Nick Reiner's attorney's out. So I think they're going to just reschedule this thing. Oh, a judge rescheduled the hearing for February 23rd.
February 23rd.
Yep.
So he'll have a new attorney.
So it's not the country
One that
singer,
didn't
Alan
sing- yeah.
Jackson.
He's way down yonder by the Chattahoochee.
Right. And I'm like, whoa. So that's trending today. All right, let's get into it. State and federal officers in Minneapolis tell very different stories about the death of 37-year-old U.S. citizen Renee Good, who was shot and killed by an ICE agent yesterday.
This is just going to make us all worse as a people, isn't
I
it?
know.
My Facebook feed is full of people saying, if you you either believe this ICE agent murdered this woman, or you're a liar, or you're just straight up evil. And it's like, I'm not in that camp. I watched the video just like everybody else watched the video. I'll watch the reverse angle just like everybody else watched the reverse angle. And it's amazing to me that you can watch something, like physically put your eyes on something, and your confirmation bias will still trump whatever you saw. She did not need to be shot. She did not need to be shot. I'm going to say it a third time. She did not need to be shot. But like everywhere else that physics touches, every action has an opposite and equal reaction. We learned that in high school, didn't we? And what's not on film is whatever went on before all this, whatever led up to all this. We have a very short snippet of reality, not all of reality.
Right.
And we're all willing to just completely hate and vilify each other because of it.
You remember in 2020 when COVID was happening? I can't remember his name right now. And God, what is his name? And he got killed, or the cop on the neck. Remember that? And then
George Floyd.
Hello.
Yes.
And it tore us as a community, as people.
It did. And the Black Lives Matter movement really stepped up, and nobody bothered to look at the autopsy to see what actually killed the guy.
Right.
We blame the cop, but what actually killed him? What did the autopsy say?
Right. It's going to be one of those things again.
Yeah.
Lawmakers in the House of Representatives will vote today on whether to extend subsidies for more than 20 million Americans who get their health insurance through the ACA, Affordable Care Act.
You know what's going to end up happening with that? It's going to be extended longer than what was offered back before they shut the government down.
Right.
Isn't that stupid?
I know. Uncle Earl's is closing down while no, Uncle Earl's is closing down. Though possibly not permanently, saying in a Facebook post, while this may not be the final chapter, it is the end of an era. And yet, yeah, it is.
It is the end of an era, and I hate it.
Months before Earlapalooza. Months before.
2 months, to be specific.
I know.
I mean, the Wearing of the Green comes up on March 14th, which, by the way, to tie this back into a news story here, that's the same date as the election day to fill Paula Davis's seat. You want to talk about a low turnout race? If I'm not mistaken, a good chunk of Paula Davis's district. No, that's a different difference. But like, you want to talk about a low turnout race? Give me the Wearing of the Green with like one thing on the ballot.
Oh Lord.
You would.
Right. Is it one thing on the ballot? Just
as
one?
far as I know, yeah, replacing her seat would be the.
Everybody's going to be too busy drinking. They're not going to want to go out and vote.
Early voting. We got to push early voting.
Yep.
Here's the other thing. You ready for this? Qualifying for that race, Washington Mardi Gras, same time.
Oh, Lord, Brian.
Qualifying is that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 28th, 29th, 30th. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I know. So, gonna have to squeeze it all in. All right, we're going to push Philip de Villiers back by all of 5 minutes. He just texted back 7:20. He'll be good to go. So let's take a quick break. When we come back on the back end of the break, we'll kind of set the table or reset the table with why we're talking to Philip de Villiers. That'll be coming up in just a little bit. Do need to remind you about 5-Star Printing. This could not be more well placed. Hey,
talking about elections.
I know. You thinking about running for Paula Davis's seat? Give my guy Danny a call. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I'm pretty sure at least one candidate in that race is already calling Danny. Give my guy Danny a call, 271-4096, 271-4096 for 5-Star Printing and Signs. I talk to you all the time about branding your business, putting your logo on merch. Yes, that's awesome. But when it comes to election season, and really at this point, when is it not election season? This is Danny's wheelhouse. I mean, this is when he steps in, turns the hips, and drives at 350 to left center. Political yard signs, the big old signs you see as well. The door knocker, or the door hangers, the brochures, the mailers, all of it, Danny takes care of it. And here's the beauty part. When you got a special election, you got a quick turnaround time, speed and accuracy matter more than anything else out there. If you're going to go through a big box that you don't even know that you found on the internet, there's no guarantee you're getting the product out that you put in. With Danny, you can call him, 271-4096. With Danny, you know who you can go back to and say, hey, this needs to be edited, this needs to be fixed. You get it fixed in time, on time. If election day is on March 14th and you go through some national place, you're not turning that around. 5-Star Printing and Signs, printshop5.com, 271-4096. Oh, I'm going to have a tough call later on today. Yeah. The guy that I was just talking about just texted me, I'm going to have to call a friend and tell him not to run for state rep. Tell him I think it's a bad idea. Yeah. Oh.
Okay, so am I calling him or he's calling me?
You're going to call him in about 5 more minutes.
Okay, text me his number and I'll wait.
Oh, he said ready. All right. State Representative Paula Davis will no longer be State Representative Paula Davis, and District 69 will be seeking new representation. How quickly can that get done? What's the turnaround time? What are the hurdles to getting it done? House Speaker Philip DeVilliers joins us now. Speaker DeVilliers, welcome back. How are you? Happy New Year.
Hey, good morning, Brian. I'm doing great. Happy New Year.
First of all, my apologies for not texting the reminder yesterday. That's totally on me. I appreciate you hopping on board on quick notice.
No, thank you for having me.
Always. All right, let's walk through this really quickly because we're in Baton Rouge. District 69 is in Baton Rouge. What's the turnaround time? We got the dates of qualifying, the dates of the election and whatnot. What does it take to set those dates? Like, what parameters are there that guide you towards where we're at?
Yeah, so typically anytime you have an election that needs to be called, we reach out to our Secretary of State, Nancy Landry, for guidance on that.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as we got notification that Rep. Davis was resigning, we reached out to the Secretary of State, let her know when the date of the resignation becomes effective, and then she kind of lays out a plan for an election for that seat.
So, and then from there, y'all pick up the baton and make it official. Like, okay, here's the general plan, and y'all narrow it down.
Yeah. So then from there, I work hand in hand with our clerk,
mm-hmm.
and then she lays out basically all of the dates, and then just basically initiate it.
Now, March 14th will be the election for this one, and as I understand it, that's as of right now, that's gonna be the only thing we go to the polls to vote on. So it's only people within District 69 that are gonna be dealing with this.
Yeah, so I'm not real sure what else would be on that local election ballot.
Nothing.
But as far as for, I don't know if y'all have any other issues that are going to be on the ballot, but I think you would know more than me. So I think the most important thing for the local listeners to know is that the qualifying dates are Wednesday, January the 28th through Friday, January the 30th. So that's right around the corner for qualifying for that seat.
Well, and I would imagine a lot of people seeking that seat are already planning on being in Washington, D.C. at that time.
Yeah, maybe so. I'd never been to DC Mardi Gras before, so
what?
Could be taken. Yeah.
We got Speaker DeVilliers on with us. All right, let's talk a little bit about what comes on the back end of this, because we're midway through a term. So when it comes to term limits and how long someone can serve, how does filling out half a term work on that end?
I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that, but obviously if someone would be elected for 2 years remaining in the term, it's my understanding that they can serve an additional 2 years on top of the three terms, as far as 3 4-year terms would be 12 years. So you could add on top of that. Now,
okay.
I would say if it'd be an additional year, so like 3 years left in the term, you would actually be cut short by only being able to serve maybe instead of 12 years, 11. But I'm not exactly sure on that, but it's something kind of crazy in that
Okay, so it's round up or round down based off of whatever is whatever is least, I guess, would be the rough answer to that one. My other question comes around about what happens to the seat during the session, because the election's on March 14th, and there will likely be a runoff on the back end of that in April, or maybe we just get lucky and don't need a runoff. But the session starts on March 9th. What happens in that interim?
Yes, so Brian, that's a great question, and that's something that really we try to focus on to try to make sure that district does have representation during session.
Mm-hmm.
So because of I wouldn't say late notice, but the later notice that Rep. Davis gave us, the only way that they would have someone serving in District 69 that's able to bring legislation would be if there would not be a runoff. And what I mean by that is someone would go in and win outright in the primary election on March 14th, they would still be able to file bills to be able to bring bills for the legislative session. In the case that there would be a runoff and they go to the general election on April the 18th, they wouldn't be elected in time to file bills. Now, obviously, they could still be there to vote on legislation and do what they can to help their district. But the other elections that we're having, the actual runoffs will take place on March the 14th, provided that there is one. So those individuals in all of those districts should be elected in time to file bills for the regular session.
Right, so important note right there. We're speaking with Speaker Philip DeVilliers. There are 5 other districts that are having their primary election, their first election, on February 7th. So I'm pretty certain that a few of them at least would have a runoff that would be on March 14th.
Correct, and I mean just a couple of notes to point out. So we have deadlines for like local bills January the 14th. So if your local area needs a bill to be filed, there's certain things that have to take place, like putting notifications in the paper and things of that nature. Retirement bills, January the 20th, constitutional amendments, February the 14th, and then all other bills would be like February the 24th. And then you can have additional 5 bills by March the 28th. So those dates are all important for the legislature to understand, if you're filing bills, the type of bill, and when are your deadlines to request and actually file those bills. So this is kind of where we are, and it's something that we do every year.
Okay, so is there an opening date for those bills to be filed? Is there something that's too soon for them to get in?
Well, no, I mean, they could start requesting bills. I mean, sometimes I request bills as soon as the prior session's over, just moving forward to try to get people at the table, have conversations about the legislation, get fiscal notes around those bills. The thing that's important to know is once you get the bill drafted,
right.
There's a time whenever the clerk will do what's called pre-filing and actually put those bills in the system to where you can see them.
Why? I mean, and I know I'm talking about hypothetical. It probably would never ever happen, but like hypothetically, if Paula Davis wanted to, she could pre-file a couple bills today before getting out and let her successor pick them up and run with them.
So because she's already put in her resignation, I would say that would not, because it's irrevocable. So I would say no.
Okay. Why? She put in a resignation,
like,
but with a date of January 9th.
So she could certainly, I guess, have filed a bill, but her name, someone else could pick it up. I mean, I could pick it up. Anyone could pick it up.
Right.
Yeah. But it just wouldn't be her legislation.
That's a crazy hypothetical. I never thought that there would be a world where that would be open, to be sure. We're speaking with the Speaker Philip DeVilliers about the upcoming, I guess we could just call them spring elections here, as we're looking to replace District 69's seat right there. What happens on the committee front? How does that just walk us through the process of how that works to take where Representative Davis was representing her district on different committees and, where that moves over to?
Yeah, so Representative Davis was on the Commerce Committee. That was the only committee that she was serving on outside of the Executive Committee, so the standing committee was. And she's done a great job on the Commerce Committee. So there's a lot of committee openings right now with people out, leaving the legislature, exiting. So there'll be several committees that will be open for people to move around. We just had an Appropriations Committee election, so some of those members that were on different morning committees moved over to Appropriations. So those committees that those members are on have vacancies now. So what I'll be looking at over the next few weeks is the requests for people to move around on committees, and then just figuring that out, how it all works. Because I mean, it's really like a puzzle when you start putting these things together.
Well, and that's kind of where I was going with that, Speaker DeVilliers, was that at the beginning of every session, we see that puzzle have to be put together, regardless of if you have, it gets a little bit easier with incumbency, but regardless, you still have that task in front of you.
Absolutely.
We got about a couple minutes left with Speaker Philip DeVilliers, walking through the basics of, I guess it's our civics lesson of the day, getting ready for a new election or a new representative in District 69. Stepping aside from District 69, I know it's early to ask, but I'm not hearing a whole lot about the upcoming session. What are you hearing that's going to kind of lead the way this year?
Yeah, I mean, look, that's another great question. And I was with the governor the last few days just talking about, what do we see coming for this year. Been talking to the members on what they would like to see. I mean, we've done a tremendous amount of work in our first 2 years of this term.
Yeah.
When it comes to, criminal justice reform, and we've seen crime rates fall, education reform, we've seen our national rankings increasing, which is phenomenal. Tax reform, I mean, we've done just so much tax reform. Our national business rankings went from like 42nd to maybe 15th now. I mean, it's just unbelievable. You look at the DOTD reform. I mean, we're actually getting projects designed and built and, asphalt on the ground. We're fixing to break ground on 62 bridge project that's going to take place over the next 15 months, which that's incredible. I mean, you just look at all the things that we've done, the budgeting, we've held the line on budget, not growing our budget. So it's just one thing after the other. Insurance has been a huge thing. We passed over 51 insurance reform bills in the last 2 years, from property to auto, and we're seeing new companies coming in to write property.
Yep.
We're seeing, I think, over 20 rate reductions when it comes to auto insurance. I mean, I think there was another announcement yesterday with over a 6% reduction when it comes to auto insurance. And I mean, we are starting to see and feel and touch all of the reforms that we've done over the last 2 years. So to your question, what do I see coming down for this coming session, is to really look at the policies that we've put into place, seeing where some of those policies may need to be polished up a little bit, and just continuing the movement that our governor has really laid out in front of the legislature, because we just have a great thing going between the governor and the Senate, the House. Our members were just, it's unbelievable to me to see all of the reforms that we've put into place over the last 2 years. I think we're going to have to really have a good conversation on power when it comes to Louisiana. We have over $70 billion of new investments that are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that's extremely important is how do we provide the necessary resources for these industries to be able to, have the generation of power that they need. I feel very confident in what we have, with our service providers. I think they're doing a great job and they have a great plan, but we're going to have conversations on that. We need to look at where we are with our budget, really hold the line on that so we can continue the path of lowering the income taxes. Look, out of all of the states that have an income tax, we have one of the lowest at a flat 3% rate.
Yep.
We lowered corporate income taxes from 7.5 to 5.5. This will be the first year that we actually won't have a franchise tax. That's incredible. It's unbelievable to me. We're trying to lay out a path to get rid of the inventory tax. And look, what I hope all the listeners really start paying attention to is the constitutional amendments that are coming up soon. We really need to help with the teachers' permanent pay raise by passing the teachers' amendment. And that's just basically paying down debt. And then we're going to have over $300 million in savings on that debt to be able to give the teachers their permanent pay raise. It's an incredible plan. So, and it's just a lot of things going on. But as far as this legislative session, I would love to see the policies that we put in place, just maybe building upon them and continuing the movement that we have.
He is Speaker Philip deVilliers. Last one before I get you out of here, and we're going to go back to that District 69 seat because, well, everybody who gets elected to state legislature is a rookie, is a freshman at some point. Does it prove to be different when someone comes in mid-session? This isn't the first time this has happened. What have you seen before from other seats that have been filled as the walk-in mid-semester, as it were?
Yeah, look, I can tell you when I was elected in 2015 and started to serve in 16, I knew nothing about legislation, how it all worked, and just people picked me up and helped show me the ropes, so to speak, put me on committees and walk me through the whole process. I've seen people that walked in on day one and went straight to the floor and to the well and helped members that have been there for years debate bills. And it's really impressive to see just different people. But look, being in the legislature, it's all about relationships. Whoever's elected, I'm sure will be hand in hand working with them and helping them along the way to learn the ropes. But I'm looking forward to whomever District 69 sends. We'll certainly miss Representative Davis dearly. I'm sure she'll be around, but yeah, it'll be fine. I can assure you, whoever y'all elect, God's going to put them there, and it's going to work out.
He is Speaker Philip deVilliers. Always appreciate the time, brother. Thank you so much for hopping on board this morning.
Thank you, and God bless.
So I don't just refer to every state legislator as a brother. He's actually an ex-brother. So, yeah.
You say everybody's brother.
Well, Franz is an ex-brother. So. Oh. Looks like hiding my mouthwash has been the right answer so far. Now, we haven't gone through a weekend with it yet. So.
Right? I'm like, who would steal your mouthwash? Who would steal somebody else's mouthwash? It blows my mind. That's nasty. Garth Brooks is teasing new music at potential tour.
I don't need music from Garth Brooks. I don't.
Like all of it.
What sucked?
Some dive bar with Blake Shelton was the most terrible thing I ever heard.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's okay in it.
But like, just play the hits, man. You're a freaking legend. You're the best to ever do it.
And then when he announced he was retiring, retire, man. Freaking retire.
Yeah.
He's still trying to be relevant.
Because you could still fill a 100,000 seat arena.
You can.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good morning. Coffee's delicious. Thank you. I went down there to actually do that. I was like, Don's got
I
it.
got it. Look, I need to pull my weight somehow. How you been? It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. It's been like a month at least.
I know, I missed you too.
Maybe a little more.
I know. I didn't like it either.
Bailing on me, man.
When you
Bailing.
text last night, I'm like, yes.
Damn right. Let's go.
Anything new? Everybody's good?
Oh, yeah. The daughter's still home from Southern Miss. She goes back in 2 weeks, I think, a week and a half.
She excited to get back or?
Till Martin Luther King Day, most of them.
Yeah, that's true.
She's-
That's true.
Yeah.
Enjoying it?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
She's got a boyfriend
Good. Good for her.
and a 3.6 GPA, so I can't be mad at that. You go up there, you make the dean's list your first semester. I'm happy. Dad's happy. I'm still gonna be on her ass about getting a job, but you know.
That's her job right now, Dad.
Mm-mm. Her job is twofold:
Okay.
make good grades and lighten my bills a little bit.
Well, good luck with that.
You know.
It's like the older they get, the more it costs.
Till they're off the payroll.
Yeah, but I mean, you always.
High school costs more than grade school, and then through high school or from the front end of that, you got braces and then driver's license, right?
Yeah.
So car insurance.
Oh, that by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Talk 1073 weather.
You're moving into a fairly active weather pattern in the next few days. This morning, just some areas of dense fog, so watch out on the roadways during the day. Expect some scattered showers. These should be pretty light and non-impactful. Temperatures getting into the upper 70s. Overnight 66 degrees for the low. Numerous showers and even thunderstorms will be possible. Many days going to be on
I missed the question for DeVilliers. If someone comes in midway through, what's left of committees for them to get?
That's a damn good question.
Follow up.
We gotta call them back.
If you have a decent idea of who might win, can you save a spot on a certain committee? Just kind of eyeing up who's in the race. I wouldn't ask that. No clue. I think it's just one of those. Yeah. 736 Talk 1073 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Got to take a quick moment to remind you about the folks over at Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is where you'll find them online. Where will you find them in real life? Well, go to LandmarkBankLA.com, hit the About Us tab. You'll find the locations right there. And location is everything when I'm talking about Landmark Bank, because you're not going to find them everywhere. You're not going to find them in Midtown Manhattan. You're not going to find them in Los Angeles. You're not going to find them in Boston or Miami or Chicago. You're going to find them in a local community, whether you're talking about Denham or Zachary or Bruley or wherever. They are a community bank, have been since 1897. And that means something to them. What that means is they're a part of the community. What that means is your hopes, wants, dreams, and desires. Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? What are you saving for? What are you borrowing for? What are you investing for? All these things matter when you have a community bank because you have a banker. Learn more at landmarkbankla.com. All right. It's been forever. Forever since we've done a Crimestoppers. Let's go.
Was that out of Sam?
In fighting crime, stopping crime, and crime prevention.
You really want to get him? What are you prepared to do? Everything within the law.
As always, if you have information you think could help solve a crime, call Crimestoppers at 344-STOP.
All it takes is a phone and an open mind. No one will know.
My eyes only, pal.
It's Crimestoppers on Talk 107.3 FM.
Hey, fella.
Good morning.
What's your name?
How are you? It's
I'm
good to
golden.
see you.
How have you been, man? Been forever. It's like a reunion over here.
It really is, and it's good to be back.
Glad to have you back.
I've really missed y'all and all your listeners.
You taking time for yourself? I mean, like, just because you're not here doesn't mean you're not working, but like, you taking time for yourself over the holidays?
I did a little work.
Okay.
Did a little work, and just it's hard to believe it's 2026. Where's the time going?
Yeah, I know. It went by pretty quickly. We've got a lot of I actually don't know if we got a lot of ground to cover. What are we looking at today?
Listen, we do have a lot of ground to cover, and let's start off in Zachary with Madison Allen. Madison Allen is a female that has been missing for over 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yes. News affiliates did a story yesterday with Zachary Police.
I saw that
regarding a program they have. But you know, this is something. The more time that goes on, people think the worst, and we hope that's not the case. But it's if you have any information on the whereabouts of Madison Allen. You can go to our Facebook page and see the picture. I believe WAFB, possibly WBRZ, did the story as well. You know, get us that information that you may have. And again, it has been a minute, but we mentioned, don't think that, oh, they already have this information or my information may not matter. It's very small information. No, that's the type of information we are looking for.
Right. So I'm reading WBRZ's version of the story. I saw it at other news outlets as well. A billboard in Baton Rouge offers a $5,000 reward for information on the whereabouts of a Zachary woman who's been missing since 2023. Madison Renee Allen's mother says she last heard from her daughter on November 29th of that year, saying police have gotten conflicting stories from Allen's boyfriend since then. Now, with the help of the Community United Effort Center for Missing Persons, the family has put up a billboard on the corner of Airline Highway and Hanks Drive, offering $5,000 for information about their daughter. Now, that information right there, that would be completely separate from Crimestoppers, right? That $5,000 is
the $5,000 is completely separate.
Okay.
We have been in contact with the family of Madison, of course, Zachary Police Department, and we have received tips that have been sent over, anonymous tips that have been sent over to Zachary. But, you know, this is something that you see, you read about, but until it hits home, until it affects you,
right?
You know, and we're not just talking about missing. We're talking about unsolved homicides, and you know, we're in January, and people make these New Year resolutions, and we'll add whatever resolution you have. You know, that's awesome. Stick with it, but let's add something to that as far as let's help bring justice to these families. Let's help get information on the missing. Let's unsolved homicide, whatever information you have, don't hold on to it. Contact Crimestoppers, 344-STOP, P3 Tips app, our website. It's all anonymous.
Right.
Get us that information and let's help bring closure to these families that are still missing loved ones or don't have information. on the individual or individuals that took the life of their loved one.
Don Coppolo's in for our Crime Stopper segment. So this is one where, it's you said on the outset, like people always just assume the worst. I mean, in 2026, it's just, is it our nature to assume the worst, or is it just a matter of like, it's difficult to disappear?
It really is. And the thing is, the more time that goes on where no one has heard from the missing individual, in this case, Madison, how come she hasn't contacted family? How come friends haven't stepped up, or
Right.
And so it's just human nature, Brian, to just assume, well, something bad has happened. And again, you hope that's not the case, but we believe somewhere out there that someone has either had information prior to this, since her disappearance, and that's the information that we want at Crime Stoppers to relay to investigators, so that she could be either reunited with her family, or the family can have some kind of answers as far as what happened.
100%. 344-STOP is the phone number, 344-STOP. What else are we working on today?
So we're going to jump over to Iberville. Iberville Parish Sheriff's Office are investigating multiple thefts in the Grove State Rosedale area. Just to remind our listeners, Crime Stoppers, we do cover 9 parishes. So if there's any information regarding these thefts in the Iberville area, it looks like some boats, some firearms, generators were reported stolen. This is something that is ongoing. Crime Stoppers, is, along with the Sheriff's Office, are urging residents to make sure their vehicles, their homes remain secure. Look out for your neighbors. Stay vigilant.
So yes, that's one of my soapbox triggers.
Oh,
to be sure.
absolutely.
I used to say, lock up your dadgum car. Well, first of all, don't ever leave a gun in a car. Okay.
Exactly.
Lock up your dadgum car.
It's
okay.
not a safe.
On top of that, lock up your house. You don't want to have gaming console and laptop stolen from a home.
Right.
Here's one where I get stuck though, Don. Here's one where I get stuck. One of the things that was reported missing, someone stole a firearm from a deer stand. Can't really lock up your deer stand now, can you?
You can't, but
how about taking it with you?
Why are you leaving it?
Well, if I'm going to have sympathy for anybody,
Carrie, maybe.
If I'm going to have sympathy for anybody, it's going to be like, you don't expect someone to go to your deer stand to steal your firearm.
Yeah, I don't know.
That
doesn't make sense.
There's no right answer. The God's honest truth is you take your firearm wherever you go. That's the simple answer right there.
Exactly.
And not for a, will it be stolen sort of aspect, but like,
how long will it take to be?
Well, not just that. Well, it's a deer stand. The likelihood that anybody even sees it, much less goes in it, I don't know.
And it's not the deer going in to say, "Hi, I got this guy.
Right.
I'm safe."
Right. Exactly. Although, if that were the case, look out.
Look out. Look out. Baton Rouge police are looking for Melvin Coleman, 30 years old, on the charge of battery of a dating partner. You see his picture on the Crime Stoppers, Capital Region Crime Stoppers Facebook page. Jumping over to East Baton Rouge Sheriff's Office, David Darcy, 32, is wanted on the charges of tampering with surveillance systems, simple burglary of inhabited dwelling, and 19 counts. Let me say again, 19 counts of violation of protective orders.
Tampering with surveillance? What's that about? He just disconnected somebody's ring or something?
This individual had a female acquaintance that he shows up at the house, attempted to kick the back door in. He failed, forces a window open, enters the residence, unplugs all the security cameras, starts breaking items within the residence, leaves, and continues to contact the victim, phone, text messages, FaceTime, just a nuisance to this individual. And So if anyone has any information on the whereabouts of David Darcy, 32.
Yeah, kicking a door in isn't as easy as it looks in the movies.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
It's got to be a humbling. I'm not like trying to take up for Mr. David Darcy here, but like you got to kick a door in. That's a humbling experience.
It really is.
I am not as strong as I thought I was.
And obviously, David's not either.
No. You weren't just going to go up, put your foot on that door, and get through it.
No,
that's not. This is not the movies. This is not an episode of CSI Miami.
Not as easy as it looks.
No. The what were the 19 counts of?
19 counts of violation of protective orders.
Okay, so what can be done to escalate that? Like it. I mean, can they go back with further orders? Or I mean, obviously he's not. Obviously, this person is ignoring the law. Wants no part of playing along with the law.
Well, and absolutely, Brian, and for investigators to believe that David attempted to kick a door in, entered the residence through a window, unplugged the security. It sounds like there's nothing that's going to stop this individual. And we talk about domestic violence time and time again, and it starts with something as small as, and not that this is small, but something as small as this, the phone calls, the text messages, the FaceTime. Hey, we need to talk, and get the hint. They do not want to talk to you.
Right.
The victim is taking measures to protect themselves, their family, whomever else, and you're ignoring that.
No, I know I make light of some things sometimes, but this is
right.
very, very serious.
This is very serious.
And this is why calling 344 stop when you have any ounce of information out there, because this is a potentially dangerous situation, which, by the way, you'll remain anonymous, so you'll be in no danger whatsoever.
100%.
But 344 stop is the phone number.
That's the call to make. And if you don't know the victim, if you're just maybe a work associate with this victim, be it male, be it female, whoever it may be, and if you notice changes in their behavior, ask questions.
He's Don Coppolo. We do Crimestoppers this time every week. Always appreciate it.
Thank you.
Here's your money now. Woo.
Like we never left off.
So kill, completely kill Mike.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers,
we've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking Active Liver supplements from New Nordic every day.
Active Liver contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract, all natural ingredients that help protect the liver so that it can protect you from toxins. It's like giving my body a daily detox. I've never felt better, and my energy is through the roof.
And my doctor is already impressed with how much better my numbers are looking. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or pick some up today at your local CVS, ShopRite, Meijer Grocery. Are now available at Wegmans. New year, new you, new Nordic.
Now a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
Westbound I-12 still very heavy with a 30-minute drive from Jubin up to the I-10 interchange, and that's putting a lot of traffic on Florida Boulevard westbound. 25 minutes from Denham Springs to Airline. Westbound I-10 from Highland, no delays to the new bridge. And southbound on Airline in Gonzales, earlier accident before Highway 22 has cleared. That is back open. I'm Joshua Dausch.
This report is sponsored by Aleve. Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
This report comes to you from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
Looking for a real estate closing partner in Baton Rouge that offers mobile closing services? Mid-City Title, midcitytitle.com.
$7:55, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We've got, we're going to have ABC News coming your way in just a little bit. We're going to have, and Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain on with us next hour. We have one guest only next hour. We run from 8:15 to the end of the show, right after we do This Day in History. We call it Farm to Studio, and we've got a lot to cover today. Going to get to a couple of other news stories here in just a quick minute. Got to remind you about the folks over at 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website. 225-330-2200 is the phone number. That's right, 225. Locally. Not an 800 number going somewhere halfway around the world. 225-330-2200. If you are mapping out where you want to take your IT this year with your company, they have, what's the tagline? IT solutions for a safer tomorrow. Whether you're talking about your cybersecurity, managing, growing, or maintaining your network, they do these things. And I could tell you about their tech and their expertise all day long, but really what makes the difference with 180 Pros is the relationship. The fact that they base their success off of your success. If you want to learn more, visit 180pros.com, 180pros.com. All right, we've got, we got enough time here. Grabbing this one from our news partners over at Louisiana Radio Network. The State Department of Wildlife and Fisheries reports that 16 Louisiana black bears were harvested during the legal bear hunting season. That season ran from December 6th to December 21st. Wildlife and Fisheries large carnivore program manager John Hanks tells our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network there were 3 different areas where hunters could legally hunt the black bears.
There were 8 harvested in Bay Area 4, that Tensar area, and 3 harvested in the upper Chafalá area, that Point Capee, West Feliciana, St. Landry area, and then there were 5 harvested on the coast, St. Mary, Iberia, Terrebonne, Vermilion, that area.
Completely different locales within the state right there. And 16 overall. That's that. I don't know how they measure success on this front because this was a new program. But I could tell you there were 10 tags unused, right? 26 tags were issued for the lottery hunt. Hank says this is the second straight year Louisiana had a black bear hunting season. I've said it's new. It's second year. Second year for the hunting season. After we went 35 years without hunting them at all, because the black bear was not endangered. What's that category above it? Threatened under the Endangered Species Act. So it wasn't endangered itself. It was threatened. Cut 8.
We had a species that was listed not even quite 10 years ago, and we're hunting them with a high rate of success, killing some really nice bears as far as size. I believe our average weight this year was 341 pounds.
The largest one was 565. Think about that for a hot minute, huh? Hank says a bear that is well over 300 pounds is going to supply 200 plates of food for that family, saying bear fat is also very useful.
Using that to make cookies and cobblers with and fry their fish in it and even waterproof their boots.
What? I'm in a whole new world now. What? First of all, I didn't even think about eating bear. It's like, that did not occur to me. Yes, complete novice over here. I will plead ignorance, total ignorance, but I wouldn't have thought about eating the bear. You want to see 200 plates of food? Wow. Okay, you know what? I bet you money that Dr. Strain knows something about this. Probably would lay some money that he's got a recipe. Eating the bear. I mean, I know when they have alligator tags, I'll eat alligator all day long. That tail meat's phenomenal. Go with it blackened over the chimes. Forget about it. I just never thought about serving up Yogi. Hour 3's next.
Protect your retirement. The Presley Group time, 8 o'clock.
WBRP Baker, Baton Rouge. WTGE HD2, Baton Rouge. Talk 107.3 FM.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
So,
I got the sign on out there on the air and all that.
and that sign, it doesn't go off now. Whether the mics are on or off, the sign stays on. So, how are you?
Happy New Year.
We're always on the air.
Happy New Year to you.
So just did a story about 16 of the bear tags got collected.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we still got a bear problem.
And no, I know. Well, we got a bear problem because we know how to fix the problems because the bears were just like the alligators. We were running out of them.
We got an alligator problem too now.
Yeah.
It's serious. It is real serious.
Oh no, I know.
Yes.
But what the story said, a bear that is well over 300 pounds is going to supply 200 plates of food.
Wow.
We eat bear?
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
See?
It's like pork. You have to cook bear like pork.
Okay.
You have to cook it very well because they get trichinosis.
Trichinosis, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew pork got trichinosis.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
Yeah. Pork and bear.
Friend of mine
Very similar.
Friend of mine gave me, this is about 20 years ago. A friend of mine gave me half a pig.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find anybody who would butcher it for me because of the trichinosis. They didn't want to run it through their
sauce. No. Yeah.
That's changed now though.
Well, yes and no. We don't check domestic pigs going through the typical slaughter for trick. But if you get like wild pig or pig from Farmer X, you better be careful.
Okay.
Right. Because we still get a few cases every year, and it's normally from undercooked pork or undercooked boudin where you get the trichinosis in there. And it is spread actually by rats. But the thing of it is it's still there. And so when I tell everybody, look, when I ask you, how would you like your pork chop? I said, well done.
Yeah.
Always.
Absolutely.
Well done. Yep.
Now, this was like way back. This was before Katrina that he gave me is like literally half a pig.
Yeah.
And we went out and bought a deep freezer to put it in so I could find someone to butcher it. Couldn't find anyone to butcher it, and then Katrina hit.
Yeah, that was.
I'm like, carrying a big ass black garbage bag full of half a pig, looking like I'm trying to get rid of a dead body. Damn it.
Yeah.
Katrina, we lost half a pig.
You could have went to Cabela's and got a kit and cut it up yourself.
Really?
Absolutely. It's not that hard. Yeah, and you can look online and show you how to cut it up.
Okay.
And so it's on our farm we always had a chart on the wall.
I called everybody in Baton Rouge.
Oh yeah.
Nobody would touch it.
Especially if they are an inspected facility.
Yeah.
Absolutely not, because they got to clean the whole place up after cutting up that one pig. Right?
Yeah.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. President Trump is calling for a huge boost in defense spending to $1.5 trillion a year. At the same time, he's demanding that major defense contractors end stock buybacks and dividends and cap executive pay at $5 million a year until they spend more on weapons research and development. Shares of RTX, formerly known as Raytheon, along with other defense contractors, are higher in the early trade. Overall, stock futures are heading for a lower open this morning. The rally that kicked off the new year is giving way to jitters about the economy and geopolitics. Yesterday, the Dow fell 466 points. Investors are bracing for tomorrow's December jobs report. And basketball great Shaquille O'Neal has just launched a brand new candy with Hershey's. Shackalicious Slams are 3 crunchy gummy balls in watermelon, strawberry, and orange, along with a chewy sour mango ring. This adds to a lineup of gummy products from the sports star. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Now, a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
East and westbound I-10, it's been problem-free getting across the new bridge this morning. Westbound I-12 traffic, heavy morning congestion with a 30-minute ride from Jubin to the I-10 interchange, and that's put some extra traffic over to Florida Boulevard westbound, 25 minutes from Denham Springs to Airline. With the earlier fog this morning, the main Plaquemine Ferry is still out of service. I'm Joshua Dowch.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
How thick?
The once-a-year sale and clearance is here. Upgrade today with Mattress Firm's quality selection of top brands. Let their sleep experts find the perfect bed to help transform your nights. They make sleep easy.
Yeah.
This report comes to you from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
Brandon Holly here. Pick your color, pick your siding. ReliefWindows.com.
Oh, yeah.
Talk 107.3 Weather.
We are moving into a fairly active weather pattern the next few days. This morning, just some areas of dense fog, so watch out on the roadways.
Holidays.
Not bad.
Good.
Took I had a 9-day stretch where I didn't come to work, but it only cost me 2 vacation days.
Wait, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I mean, I ended up burning a month of personal time between vacation and sick days. Not even using it.
I understand.
But I got myself
You saw those us out there in the Rose Bowl?
So I heard you were all over TV.
Yes, we were. So, yeah, that was the float, Golf to Gumbo, right? And so, so we would start TV at 4 a.m. California time. So we'd leave the hotel at 3:45, and it'll go like till noon. You do that days in a row. So, I mean, you do 18 to 20 television interviews in the morning.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and mostly me and Lieutenant Governor standing there. But I mean, look at this. Maywood, see all the flowers and the roses and the oyster shells and all that. It's all handmade.
It's amazing. I know.
It's a how you say, it's an absolute production.
Let me jump in here.
Please do.
806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you, Bree Lynn producing. We are at 66 degrees to start off your 8 o'clock hour in downtown Baton Rouge. Of course, we are broadcasting live from the 180 Pros studio. Not your IT provider, your IT partner. Busy hour this hour. We're going to knock out some This Day in History, and then right after that, we've got our Ag Commissioner Mike Strain going to be in for a little farm to studio. So let's get right to it. This Day in History. Let's roll.
There aren't many times when going backwards actually moves us forward, but this is one of those times. This Day in History.
You've got to come back with me.
Starting now on Talk 107.3.
All right. 1790, first U.S. President George Washington delivers the first State of the Union address.
The State of the Union is so like formal and like long now.
Right.
I wonder what it was like back then.
Right.
I mean, first of all, you're not kicking anybody off the TV, right?
Correct.
But like, so much less to talk about. The government covered so much less of our lives. Oh.
1867, African-American men granted the right to vote in Washington, D.C. despite President Johnson's veto.
Wait, when?
Wait, say that again?
1867.
You jumped from...
Different president.
Get his mic.
So, President Johnson vetoed. That's after the Civil War.
That's what it says.
Wow.
Andrew Jackson.
No.
Johnson.
Hey, Andrew Johnson. I'm sorry. Johnson. Andrew Johnson.
But you missed Andrew Jackson. Because on this day in 1815, one U.S. General, Andrew Jackson, defeated Great Britain in the Battle of New Orleans. I shouldn't give him credit.
Miss that?
He can't get credit for that. Gene Lafitte's got to get credit for that.
Well, Gene Lafitte gets partly credit for that. And then we're going to tell you why he really fought at the Battle of New Orleans.
Why?
Why? Because he was protecting family property and his friend's property. You know, one of his main ships was the Seraphim, named for Seraphim Koukoulou, of the Koukoulou family. So Lafitte and his pirates and Dominique Yu and Joseph Saint-Ange de Boissier, they were all intermarried into those families. They were protecting their properties and the plantations from the British.
Getting paid to do it too.
Oh yeah, well, but he had more money than Americans really didn't pay him.
We ever gonna find his treasure?
No, I think he spent it.
You do?
Oh, what? He liked to live well. Yeah, and and John Lafitte's brother lived into New Orleans to ripe old age, and a number of his old pirates did too. But they liked the good life, and they spent money like water. So I think the treasure, I think they spent it.
Okay.
You know, I think they lived pretty darn well, right? Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
All right, 1902, let's see, a bill gets passed to criminalize men turning around on the street and looking at women in that way.
In that way?
That way?
I know, that's what it says.
That way. My gracious alive.
Okay.
Huh?
1964, President Lyndon B. Johnson declares war on poverty.
How'd that work out?
Right. All right. 1988, Hewlett-Packard introduces the Advanced Scientific Calculator and forever changed college, high school.
Oh, God.
I know.
Yeah.
Let's
I
see.
remember my first calculator.
Mine was a big old Texas Instruments one.
Oh, no, that was my second one.
The graphic calculator. Remember the graphic
really
calculator?
Expensive. My first one, it was $12. $12, and it was about twice this big and about that
Yep,
thick.
and heavy.
And it could add and subtract and multiply.
And heavy. 1991, Steve Clark, guitarist with Def Leppard, was found dead at his flat by his girlfriend.
Okay.
Let's see. 1992, George H.W. Bush falls ill and vomits on Japanese prime minister's lab.
I don't like broccoli.
Right.
That was the quote. That was the quote.
And he said, I am president of the United States. If I don't want to eat broccoli, I'm not going to eat broccoli.
Yep.
Remember that?
And
he got in so much trouble.
I know.
Right. Over broccoli.
I never understood that though. Like, he's a grown man. He's not allowed to like something. I love broccoli.
With
love
cheese
broccoli.
and butter.
That's
butter. Lots of butter.
Right.
Cheese on top of butter.
Oh, yeah. 1993.
Broccoli, black pepper, a little bit of butter.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Lots of
You're
butter.
making me hungry.
Yeah.
1993, NBC offers The Tonight Show to David Letterman. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. 1998, World Trade Center bomber.
Wait, what? NBC offered okay. That was before all the hubbub where he moved over to CBS, though.
Yep.
Because Leno ended up taking that over.
Yep.
All right, good.
1998, World Trade Center bomber Ramzi Youssef sentenced to life in prison, making sure I was saying his name right. All right. 2002, U.S. President George W. Bush signs into law the No Child Left Behind Act.
Okay.
Let's see. Skipping on down. 2021, Twitter bans U.S. President Donald Trump permanently due to the risk of further incitement of violence.
Yeah. This day in 2011 was the day Gabby Giffords was shot. The
really
U.S. representative from Arizona. Yeah, that was a scary couple days right there.
That's terrible.
Yeah, remember like the news reported that she was dead before. I mean, obviously she wasn't, but and this day in 2016, El Chapo was captured.
Oh wow. Okay. Famous birthdays today: Elvis Presley.
Really?
David Bowie.
Wow.
Noah Cyrus. Let's see. I can't ever say her last name. Cynthia Erivo. I said it right. She's in the new Wicked film with yeah. Okay. Let's see. What other birthdays you got?
Stephen Hawking.
How did I miss that?
I don't know. Kim Jong-un.
Okay.
You said David Bowie, right?
Yes, yep. David Bowie.
Yeah. Did you say R. Kelly?
No.
That's R. Kelly's birthday. So.
R. Kelly.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Notable deaths. I don't really have anybody I recognize. What you got?
No, me neither.
Okay. I mean, Eli Whitney, American inventor, best known for inventing the cotton gin, but that's all I got. All right. National.
He who built and maybe destroyed the South at the same time.
Yep.
With
right?
the cotton gin.
Yep.
Let's see. Yep. National Day today. Don't really. Oh, no, don't have any. What you got?
For a National Day, you don't have any? Oh, give me a second.
Hold on. Wait.
Today ought to be a good gumbo day.
That's coming up next week.
Here we go. Healthy weight, healthy look day.
That's me and you.
That's totally 100%
National
right there.
Snuggle a Chicken Day, Brian.
That's not a thing.
Snuggle a Chicken Day.
That is not a thing, and we're not going to pretend that it's a thing.
You know, chickens.
I have bubble bath.
We
day.
said that yesterday.
Oh,
it must have came. I don't know. The
bubble
websites
bath
are weird.
Snuggle a chicken.
Yeah,
it's not smuggle a chicken, right? Not
snuggle a chicken. No, snuggle.
Steal somebody else's chicken.
Right.
Snuggle.
It's 8:13 to Talk 107.3 FM. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, you already heard him a little bit. Ag Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain's in the house. We go farm to studio next.
Chickens love to snuggle. My wife's chickens, they love her. And my brother, he has a chicken. He'll go sit down. That chicken come get up in his lap. Of course, he's hand feeding his chicken.
Well,
he's had it since it was a little chick.
Yeah.
She quit laying years ago. So she's
There's
just
a guy on TikTok. A baby duck adopted him. Like followed him around. Yeah.
My grandmother used to hatch out the ducks on our farm. She'd go and we'd collect the eggs, and she would hatch them, incubate and hatch them. She would walk from her house down to our house, and it's a fairly long walk. Yeah. But she might have 100 ducks lined up one by one behind her coming down the road. She'd be walking down the road. Oh yeah, because they identified her as the head duck. And so it would be hilarious. My grandmother and all the ducks come behind and kind of marching in unison, right? Yeah.
So this little duck, black dude, he named it Ductavius.
Ductavius.
It's the cutest thing though. Like this little duck just follows him everywhere.
Oh yeah. It's amazing how animals will pick you.
Yeah.
We think that we pick the animals. Yeah. It's kind of the other way around, right?
Yeah. Once a duck adopts you, it's over with.
I was picking my German Shepherd when I got him. He picked me.
Mm-hmm. And you are that dog's human. You are that animal's possessed human, right? Oh yeah.
He'll follow me around more so than my husband. He'll just stay up my.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Like, all right, you need to go.
Oh yeah.
I love him. I love him to pieces.
There was a thing they were talking about on radio that the current young generation, whichever gen, whatever,
Gen Alpha.
No, it's Alpha now.
Alpha now said they will more readily spend $100 on a gift for their pet than their significant other.
That's asinine.
Well, they will buy stuff for their animals before. Yeah.
It's like the Alpha. They'll throw birthday parties for their dog now. They'll buy birthday cake for them. I'm like, you don't need to be a birthday cake.
So so the significant other of an Alpha, his birthday came and passed, and it was, they said, kind of, a little birthday. But when the dog's birthday, they threw a big party, invited all these friends. A party for the dog, and and I think
we no longer have a dog.
Every day is a party for my dog. Every day.
We're never home.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I always had a dog growing up, right? We had a dog when we first got married. We got a dog early on, but when we started having kids, the kids never played with the dog. And the dog, when the dog passed, it was sad and alone and and we're never home. And my middle child is allergic, so we just don't have a dog. I feel weird not having a dog, but it's like.
So y'all don't have no pets?
Hootie the Magnificent.
Look how cute. He's
she is a basset hound.
That's it.
We had a beagle named Nola.
Is he?
Oh.
You know what that look is? The cat did it, Mama.
Of course.
And of course, forgive me. Yeah, I didn't do it. The cat did it. She thinks so. Worse than rotten. Worse than rotten. Yeah. She had on Christmas stocking. She knew it was hers. Yeah. And she got her stocking.
8:16, Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Going to get to Farm to Studio here in just a second. Do need to remind you about One Bath and Closets. 225-460-2274. or onebathandclosets.com. Spell it out, O-N-E, bathandclosets.com. The wife and I, we went ahead and revamped redid the master bathroom. We called David over at One Bath and Closets and could not be happier with the results. Went from the old, metal tub to a beautiful walk-in shower. Went from the old one sink down the middle to 2 individual vanities. It could not be happier with the results, and the level of attention to detail and thoroughness that David provides for the entire process is beyond compare. So, look, we haven't gone the closet route, but we definitely went the bathroom route with One Bath.
You got to go to the closet route. That's a good organized closet.
Yeah,
is unbelievable.
That's what I hear.
Yeah,
that's what I hear. Like saves you time every morning. And
yes. I've seen what they can do, and it's incredible.
Yeah,
right. And they can build out some cabinets, and you can, and you might actually, if you have suits, you might actually have the jacket and the slacks together to where you don't mess that up.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal. I'm bad about it.
Well, and if you're going to do it, give David a call at One Bath and Closets. That's what we did. Couldn't recommend it any higher. 225-460-2274. All right. Time for Farm to Studio. Let's hit it.
There we go. You ever see a shrimp that big?
Holy.
That's for the parade. That's not a live shrimp. So there we are. Yeah, that's at 4 a.m. That's 4 a.m. California time. That's what we look like. Me and Billy, right? Promoting shrimp and
is that real? Is that real?
The shrimp real?
That shrimp?
No. It's what was on it's made out of seeds. Oh, everything's made out of flowers, and everything is flowers.
Yeah,
and
but
seeds. So that was hanging out the gumbo pot.
Welcome aboard, Mike Strain.
Hanging out the gumbo pot.
Yeah, well, we've been talking for 30 minutes already.
I know.
Hanging out the gumbo pot. Yes.
So, Dr. Train showing me pictures of the the Tournament of Roses parade, as it were, the Rose Bowl parade. You made the track, man.
Yes, we did. Susan and I went out to California. We were there with Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser and his wife Sharon, about 100 others from Louisiana, and we participated in decorating the float. And so you start about 5 days out, actually putting flowers on the float, and it's all organized. They are professional florists there, and florists come from Louisiana to come help. And then the closer you get to the parade, you start putting the roses on. So the entire float is covered in seeds, it's covered in leaves and flowers, and then you add 100,000 roses, and everything is a pattern. So in other words, if you look where the shrimp boat is there on the float, and the way that the flowers are set up, and it had running water. It had a lot of things going on, to where you look at it and it simulates that shrimp boat going down through the bayous. And we had oyster shells there as well, and of course we had Louisiana rice. We're all there promoting Louisiana. It was Gulf to Gumbo, teamwork, but Gulf to Gumbo. We had Uncle Larry of Uncle Larry's Stew and a few there. And we had some shrimpers there. We had our oyster queen, our shrimp queen there, and just a whole lot of fun. We had a seafood processor with us, and again, all these certified Louisiana products, and really promoting them to the world. And at the float den every morning, starting at about 4 a.m., we would have Lieutenant Governor Nungesser arranged for, quote, a little old lady from Pasadena, which is true. She had a beignet truck. She was from New Orleans. Mm-hmm. So we had hot coffee and right there, beignets with powdered sugar. Now, we're wearing blue, some blue pullovers. And, you ever try to keep that white powder off of you at 4 a.m. in the morning when you've only had 2 cups of coffee?
I would imagine.
It was incredible. It was wonderful.
It's a beautiful
right? That's right. And then, of course, we had, for all the float decorators at lunch, we would have Louisiana jambalaya, Louisiana. We would have etouffee, and just all these wonderful Louisiana products, boudin balls. And then they have a rather formal type of affair there that is put on for the entirety of everyone participating in the Rose Bowl, the judges and everyone else. And Chef John Folks shipped up some gumbo. Yes. Now we had to go there and talk to the California people. Say, look, it's gumbo and rice. You don't mix gumbo with red beans and whatever else you got. No, gumbo's gumbo. Mm-hmm. So we don't understand. So look, I'm telling you, this is it. Gumbo is it. This is, you put this
with you. Louisiana rice. It was but it was wonderful. Absolutely incredible.
Okay.
A lot of fun.
A lot of fun, a lot of work, though. This is one of the ones. We have the lieutenant governor on in early December promoting what he's going to be doing.
So the volunteers start at 5 a.m. and there's 2 shifts, and they finish at 10 p.m. each night. And this goes on for 5 days. And the last 48 hours, I'm telling you, I mean, they got scaffolding everywhere, and they're putting on the roses. So you have teams out there cutting the roses and putting them into those little, little devices that hold the water, and then everything is already planned ahead of time. But they cover it. You think about putting 100,000 roses after you've already put all these other flowers and putting that onto this, so that what you see in these floats is all covered in natural seeds and flowers. And it's a year. It takes a year, full year.
And our lieutenant governor does an amazing job of making sure that there's not a moment of time that's not dedicated to promoting the state.
Absolutely. And that's the whole thing. And again, it's about teamwork, and we had a great time, and we're continuing to work together. He and I are working very hard together as we're working together to promote seafood, especially moving forward as we're rebuilding our seafood industry, but also all things in Louisiana, our tourism, our culture, our food. And look, as you travel, you'll know we are blessed. We are really blessed. Other people, they don't, we think about, look, you right now, you can go down and get some great gumbo. You can get some good boudin balls. I had some good boudin balls yesterday now. Yes.
Are we promoting from where?
We were on our way to Lake Charles yesterday, and we stopped at Lackison, and there's a wonderful little shop. Yes, there's a beautiful, wonderful. Look,
I
we
would
were
have
dying.
money you were going to say you stopped in Scott, because that's where everybody's at.
No, well, we made it to Lackison, and we had to stop because we're headed to Lake Charles, because I was giving an address to the aerial applicators. But when you walk in the door, you smell the boudin balls. It's wait, stop. We got to have some boudin balls with pepper jack cheese in them.
Hang on. Okay,
to make that next
I think
step.
I know what stop you stopped at too.
Yeah, it's a little.
Because
it's right by.
It's the
right
only
by
thing
the
there.
old sugar mill, right?
Yeah,
it's right by the.
It's the only thing there. Yep.
Yeah.
I know right where that.
So right, the mill is to the right, and that's the department property where all that mill stuff is.
Yep.
And we always stop this. We know, and I've had their boudin balls there several times.
Ridiculous.
Oh, yes.
So coming back,
and I'm a pepper jack guy now. Look, I've got to have that pepper jack.
Yes. Coming back from Lake Charles, so I did my show. Do my show at Louisiana Travel Association.
Louisiana Travel.
And it's just I went like back. It was almost back-to-back weeks, or it was very close to each other. I did Legislator.
That's
the
right.
Show from there, and then I did the show from LTA.
I think that's at LaBerge. One of them, or Golden Nugget, or one of them.
They're right next door to each other.
Yeah.
One was at one was at the other. I think LTA was at Golden Nugget.
Yep.
And driving back, I can't not stop there.
You got to stop. Well, you got to stretch your legs. I mean, you got to stretch your legs. And you can't go through that without buying some boudin balls. Right. Oh yeah.
It is an absolute
that'll get
must.
you a little further down the road, right?
Oh.
To the next boudin stop. Whether you're going to be in Scott or Crotch Springs or Billy's,
So it's got to be Scott. If you're coming back from Lake Charles, it's got to be Scott.
Yeah.
If you're going up north like the Natchitoches, then you're doing the 190 thing, and you can do the.
But
Billy's.
I'm doing better. I am doing better because we used to stop and we'd get a dozen in a box. But because we said, we're going to bring some home, right? Yeah. Now
you ain't gonna make it.
Now
home,
I know.
Mike.
Just get 2, right?
Yeah.
But I used to stop and get a dozen in a box and a big cup of coffee because I might. You never know. I might not get home for a couple of days, right?
That's a couple of days.
Yeah, you got to have sustenance. No. Oh, no. Yes. Yes, as we
How
digress.
did we get on this path?
Because that's boudin balls, that's good eating, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing like early in the morning, like at 4 a.m., a big, tall cup of coffee, black coffee, and a dozen boudin balls.
And speaking of coffee, and speaking of like Louisiana products, I love me some community coffee. But took the family to Louis. They serve River Road coffee.
Oh, really?
I forget how good River Road coffee.
Yes.
River Road coffee is really like they're top notch.
Yeah, when you find good coffee is good coffee, right?
Yeah.
Good coffee.
So I was raised on CDM.
I was too. Yes, I was, and I can still see my grandmother making cafe au lait or cafe du monde.
Yeah.
Right. And she would have a tall pot, and I guess she put like a quarter of a pound or half a pound in it. They slowly drip water in it all day, and it would make the coffee syrup.
Yeah.
And that was for cafe au lait, right? And
So
you talk about strong. What? 1 cup of that, and you already so hot milk, hot coffee.
Put a Red Bull to shame.
Oh, I'm telling you, yeah. As we say, would straighten your toenails out, right? You're ready to go. Yes, but that's what my grandmother would do, and I can still see that pot and her making that. The cafe au lait.
Somewhere there's a list of topics we're supposed to talk about today.
Oh, that's true, huh? Yes, well, yeah.
The Rose Parade was
Rose
one of them.
Parade
To
was
be
one
fair,
of them. That's
we're
right.
We're not that far
That's
off.
right.
And
Yeah.
Louisiana Seafood's another.
But we've got to talk about now is the time to recycle that Christmas tree too.
Oh, you know what? Let's get to that,
You are
please.
running out of time, and so if you can go to keeplouisianabeautiful.org, and it will give you each parish the days and where to bring those Christmas trees. Yeah, and specifically. But most of them right now, like today, you can still put your Christmas tree out today on the because as the garbage truck comes by, there is a recycling truck coming right behind it. But this is probably the last week to do that. Then you may have to go to a designated drop-off zone.
So are we still using the Christmas trees the way we have been the last 2 decades?
Absolutely. And so it's amazing. They bring them out in the marsh and they pile them up in such a way, and they'll be in line for reclamation. And so what it does is that it traps the sediment and starts rebuilding the coast. And look, that is very important. And it's going to, the thing of it is, though, it's got to be cleaned. No tinsel, no ornaments.
Well, obviously.
No artificial trees, right? No flocked or painted.
Right.
It's got to be natural.
Yes.
And then it delivered it. And so, and if you look at that, so if you're looking in, let's see where we have the different areas. And again, go to keeplouisianabeautiful.org. And also you could go to Keep Louisiana Beautiful, and they will tell you where you can do this in each particular
parish by parish.
Parish.
Well, I mean, here in EBR, though, like you said, they're still making the rounds.
That's right.
So just putting it out on the curbside is what we'll get it done for now.
And it's a good thing. And look, do not cut that thing up and think you can burn it in your fireplace. Do not. Have you ever seen a Christmas tree burned? Have you ever seen one of them burned?
It happens fast.
Does it fast? It is like swoosh. And so if it,
I may or may not have done this in my yard.
May or may not have done it. And the other thing, if for some reason you're going to burn it and you haven't recycled it, be very careful, because it will go up literally almost as fast as if it was just gasoline.
It's over as soon as it starts, though.
Yes, and the thing of it is, if you put that into a quote fireplace, you're going to have a ball of flame coming out in the front. So it's no, I'm serious. Those needles will just
goes up. So we've done this out in the yard before. We haven't done it in the fireplace.
That's right.
I'm envisioning.
That's how he's telling himself. But yes, but it burns so fast. You got to be very careful.
Yeah, and it does not burn for. You're not going to get a good burn out of it. You're not going to get heat off
swoosh.
of it. Yeah, and then it's over with.
And then you're going to have a stick.
We got a charred stick. We got to break real quick. Here comes news, traffic, weather. We got to add Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain, and we'll continue next.
Very true.
Oh no,
but people have tried to burn them in their fireplaces.
You spot on when you say it's like a gas fire.
Swoosh.
Yeah. With the noise and everything.
And I have a gas fireplace. Can you imagine?
No, not like a natural gas. I mean, gasoline. Like,
gasoline on a box doesn't burn as hot as that Christmas tree.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I mean, it'll burn as fast, but it's not as hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody who's ever started a fire with gasoline knows that whole.
Yeah, and it's got to burn you. Yeah, the flash fire. Yeah, you got to be just a swoosh. No more eyebrows, right?
So.
Playing with fire when you were little.
Summer after my sophomore year at St. Paul's. Okay.
Yeah.
One of my dad's friends, he was, pretty heavy into real estate. He'd buy homes, and I guess he was flipping homes before it was cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's a home in River Forest, and you know where River Forest is at. This ain't
know exactly where it's at.
All right. So, what's the school that be?
Covington High. Covington High is right there by River
on the
Forest.
back side, but on the old Covington side, where I forget what it used to be called. Now it's Kehoe France North Shore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was a house that's 2 doors down from there. And they had a big garden in the yard that was completely overrun. And my dad's friend is like, I'll pay you $100. This was 1993. So my sophomore in high school, $100 was a lot of money. So I'll pay you $100 to completely clean this out. And it was all thick, just like small trees and weeds. And like, it was like, I was looking at it, like, this could be like 3 days worth of work. So I was like, you know what? I'm not going to work hard. I'm going to work smart.
You're going to burn it?
I hopped in my car. I went back up 15th all the way to Tyler Street. Went in a time saver right there. Got me a gallon of gas, a little gas can and a gallon of gas. Go right back out there, and I grabbed the Times Picayune as well. So twist up the Picayune and page by page, and I'm pouring gas on it individually. And I'm like, I need a little bit of space here because I'm not going to light this right here. So I got a good 15 feet away. I thought it would go slower than it did. No, it went fast. It's not like when you watch the movies and you see the flame like follow the. No, it's instantaneous.
Obviously, you didn't have a. Oh yeah, no, it's like whoom.
Yeah,
right. And there's a concussion.
The concussion I was not ready for. And
you're lucky.
I burned the whole thing out. I got all the work done in under 10 minutes.
And you just had to go.
Huh? This was years before I met Christy. I was a sophomore in high school.
And it stayed on the property. It didn't jump the property.
Did not jump the property. It stayed within the garden area. Like somebody that had a garden and they just left it alone. And it all burnt down to nothing and a good, I want to say.
So you obviously didn't have a bush hog.
No. No. But I cleared this whole thing out. And I mean, it went fast and it was effective. And then I went in and just tilled it after. Well, that's right. Hang on. If I'm going to be truthful about the timeline, as soon as it lit up and it burned back down real quick, I started hosing it, and then
before the fire department got there.
Then I went and hid because the fire department was coming.
Stop, Brian.
Oh yeah. Because you're in town. He's in town. He's not out in the boonies.
No, this is River Forest. This is like not.
River Forest.
So I mean, I wasn't out by like Money Hill or anything. So hid from the fire department. Fire department comes by. There's like nothing left. There's nothing left in this garden. And they walk around and like, what happened? I was like, I don't know. Then I tilled it and I was done. That's easy $100. Minus the 97 cents.
You were
a
non-certified prescribed burner. That's non-certified prescribed burner.
I did well.
Yeah. Yes.
Aside from the concussion of the fire, aside from the boom, the boom that comes with it. Other than that, I did pretty well for myself.
So we teach how to burn properly. We work with LSU because I certified.
Twisting up newspaper and doing it?
No. Certified. You hear that? Certified prescribed burner.
Yeah.
You go to burn school.
Oh.
Because we have to burn the forest lands. Yeah. And we have to burn, the crop lands. And so it is a big deal.
My neighbor burned theirs once in the backyard talking about a tree.
Yes.
Their whole house was on fire.
It swooshed.
What he thought it was.
Yep. So we use drip torches, and it's 2 parts diesel and 1 part gasoline. 2 parts diesel, 1 part gasoline. If you can do a proper prescribed burn. After you fill out your reports and you notify everybody that you're going to burn, so the fire department knows what you're doing, and it's got to be done properly. Now, if it leaves your property, then you're going to see our timber enforcement people are going to come, and it's not good.
I'm hoping there's a statute of limitations on this because that's 33 years ago.
Yeah, I think you're safe.
Okay,
you're safe, but we'll keep ribbing you about it. Yeah.
I was high on the hog after that because I was like, that was a success. Aside from having to hide from the fire department, that was a success.
One of the main problems we have with uncontrolled or wildfires, and that we have to go there and control them, is from burning debris piles. People will burn a debris pile and go in and get some more libations. In other words, they leave it, and it gets away. Then they come back and say, "Oh my God, it set the grass on fire. Then it set the land on fire. Now it's
I had the hose.
Running.
I had the hose ready to go.
Hose is ready to go. A hose and a rake.
Yeah,
hose and a rake. Yes.
I did what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, burn bans is on the list.
There's burn bans. Yes, and yes.
We go from that to all right. Let's talk about a burn ban.
Yeah, we still have burn bans, and they're still into effect. Yep.
Oh.
Like I say.
Oh, and all the old ladies in the subdivision just like, what was that? Like
What
that was an
that?
explosion.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah. What are we doing? We used to, when we were young, we'd have to burn you burn the fields every end of January, February. You burn the pastures. And that way you get new clean growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then in the timberlands, it's all burned by the timberlands to get rid of, the undergrowth, which is good for the trees, but also stops wildfire.
Yeah.
Control fire prevents wildfire.
837 Talk 173 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. Headed into the break talking about not burning your Christmas tree.
Yes.
Coming out of the break, we need to talk about burn bans.
We still have burn bans, and they're
Why?
in northwest Louisiana because they haven't gotten enough rain yet. It's still, the ground is still in such a state where you can get wildfires, and it's in Rapides, Vernon, Natchitoches, Wynn, Caldwell, Jackson, Union, Bossier, Caddo, and DeSoto. And so those particular areas, and we monitor everything, but we look at the moisture level on the surface and in the first 10 inches of the soil. And when you have these conditions such that, if you get winds, you don't want wildfires. That's the whole thing. We've made a lot of progress in wildfire prevention using these burn bans by parish.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as there's enough rainfall in that particular parish, the parish will rescind the burn ban as quickly as possible. So you don't have large debris piles to burn after then, because people, will be, cleaning up the yards or whatever. So we try to keep the amount of vegetative matter that will eventually be burned either in a burn pile or in a prescribed burn, whatever, to a minimum. That's the big deal. The proper use of fire prevents wildfires, but you have to manage it properly. And the thing we talk about in this part of the world, again, is fog days. We've been having fog days. So don't light a fire, especially whatever you do, that fire needs to be out by 4 p.m. By 4 p.m.
Hang on. Don't let what does one have to do with the other?
Because when you have fog days, you do not have, you have inversion. In other words, the smoke is held to the ground rather than lifting up to the proper height. So the smoke doesn't go up, it stays on the ground, and that creates the super fogs. So that's the whole key, which can be
2 years ago or 3 years ago. We saw that super fog in New Orleans.
And that was from the marsh. That was from a marsh fire.
Right.
And that super fog came all the way over to the interstate there, Interstate 55, if you remember.
I do.
And all of a sudden it was like, they said, well, why didn't they close the interstate? Well, because it rolled across like a river and of the super fog and resulted in those accidents. And the actual fire was on the other side of Lake Pontchartrain, the east side of Lake Pontchartrain.
It was in St. Bernard Parish.
Right, in the marsh. Yeah, right there between New Orleans East and St. Bernard.
Yeah.
Right in that particular area, right by Bayou Sauvage. And it was on 110 acres and it was completely surrounded, but it got down below. It was burning below the ground, underground.
Right.
In the peat. And you had that acrid smell. But what was amazing is on that day, I crossed the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway, and right in the middle was a mile of super fog. There was no fog.
Kidding.
There was no fog to the north or south of that, but right in the middle. So you think about when you think about the weather, you have this fog moving like a river, right? Moving like a river, and it is under the atmosphere controls it, and you have that super fog dense in one area. I'm sure you've been on the causeway and you have fog in one spot in the middle, and on the other sides, it's clear.
Yeah.
Clear as a bell.
Yeah.
And you think about it, and it rolls through, and then it rolled all the way over to the interstate there on the other side of Lake Maurepas, and it resulted in that. And that was from, again, marsh fire.
The number of times we had to cross that causeway in the fog in the caravan, where you'd have the causeway police leading as the lead car.
Yeah, and you're going slow so you can see the taillights of the car ahead of you.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, and they don't do that when you cross in the basin.
Right.
And the thing about the basin, they have bad wrecks out there, and they got shoulders on the basin. There's no shoulders or very limited shoulders now on the causeway. Every few miles, you have some shoulders.
Get the crossovers. Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
We got our ag commissioner in with us, Dr. Mike Strain. We're talking a little bit about, let's stick with the burn bans for one more here, because what long-term, you said once we get enough rain,
That's right. We'll lift we'll lift them.
What's our projections for this year? Do we know? I mean, because
so far right now, the projections are at this point warmer than normal temperatures. We've seen warmer than normal temperatures now over the last few weeks and moving forward. And, we may get through this year with limited freezes, if any. We had one little short snap of freeze. And here we are. I mean, we're moving into the second week in January. And, it gets 80 degrees outside. So we're thinking we're going to have warmer weather. And we're really going to be watching the tropics this year with these warmer weather patterns and watching what's happening.
That's all the forecasters could tell us last year was because of the warmer weather, the hurricane seasons could be awful. And it didn't play out that way as far as storms were concerned.
Didn't. Right. It didn't, but it also didn't bring moisture. When you don't have we did not have a single tropical storm from the Gulf come across Louisiana. And that's why we depend on that moisture, for our crops and for our basins and for our river flow. And so we could see a drier year, a warmer year. But the good news is, look, the crawfish are rocking and rolling. I mean, they are growing every day. You already have some restaurants starting to serve crawfish. We've had, just an orderly breakdown of the rice plants there in the crawfish fields and nice warm weather. So the crawfish, they be growing. So we're going to have a great crawfish season. We do not anticipate, if we can get through the 15th of February, right, without any freezes, you're going to see some really nice crawdaddies, and we're going to have a great season as we move in tomorrow. It's already Mardi Gras. Right. 12th night has come and passed, and they already were on the streetcars celebrating. So we're going to have a wonderful Mardi Gras. And I think we're going to have
a short Mardi Gras, though.
A short Mardi Gras, that's right. Well, but I think we may have an earlier planting season. We base the season. It is, based on the calendar, but it's also based on ground temperatures. And so if we can get into that first part of March early with a 40 degrees soil temperature and adequate rainfall, we're going to be putting some seeds in the ground. So we will start
What
planting.
goes in March?
Corn mostly.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And then, may follow a little bit later with some, some soybeans. And of course, our sugarcane is growing well. We're at the end of sugarcane season now, but we'll start off with corn, cotton, beans, and of course, and rice. And so it's all depends on, what part of the state you're in, the ground temperatures, the moisture, and those planting dates. And so, but I think we're gonna be able to hit it early this year.
Okay.
And hopefully that it won't be, if it's too wet or too dry or too cold, you can't plant. You got to hit that. Right. And you got a narrow window. That window is narrow.
Yeah.
It's 3 to 4 weeks. That's it. And if you miss it, then you will have non-planted acres. But I think you're going to see a very aggressive planting. And I think we're going to see more corn, less beans, less cotton. But so the projections for corn this year are a lot more than soybeans because most of our corn is used domestically.
Really?
A third of our soybeans are exported and depend on the export market. And of course, almost most of our rice is utilized here in the United States, but also about a good third of our rice is exported, mostly to Mexico is our number one customer. We're trying to entice more into Canada, but I've been traveling across the world and we're selling rice across the world.
Love that.
So we're pushing hard. And our next visit, we just wrapped up again a trip to the United Kingdom, and where we went there to the Rice and Flour Millers Association, to a company called Wanus or Wanus, selling Louisiana rice. Our next trip that we are now working on will be into the Ivory Coast. So Todd and I headed to the Ivory Coast for a couple of days. Yes, just two of us to the Ivory Coast by invitation from the Ivory Coast, and in order to try to sell them again rice, corn, beans, cotton, chicken, timber, right? But they are direct food products. So we're going there. And so normally the way these trade missions work, you go on the first mission, and that is just, you're on the ground and you're getting a firsthand view and understanding of what they need,
right?
What the opportunities are, how their system works. And that's a big deal. How do you export to them and how that works, making those relationships. Then the next trip will be where we will bring our exporters with us.
Expound upon that. We get 3 minutes to break. So tell me, how their system works.
Absolutely. What are the trade barriers? What do we have to do to get our products into your countries? if we call it phytosanitary, are there any rules against with the genetics of the crop or any type of diseases that we have to test for? What do we have to certify to you? Who do we send it to? Who do we call if that shipment is stuck in the port and can't get in and unloaded? And how does your country buy these products and through who? So, for instance, in England, it's most of the rice it's very tightly controlled by the Rice and Flour Millers Association. Those group control it. Okay. And you look at the tariff situation, but then we meet directly with a company and said, we will buy from you. However, we want it milled and we want it in packages, and they got to be in 1 and 5 kilo packages. And, so these are the specifications. So we take that information and then we connect it directly with our exporters.
You're talking about rice right here?
Louisiana rice. And they want Louisiana rice. They want people across the world want Louisiana rice.
100%. But
absolutely.
I find that interesting. They want it milled and processed. Like they want us to handle the whole package.
Yes. Prepackaged. Ready to go. In the containers.
Well, that's even better for us because that's more jobs. I mean, it's one thing to pull it off the ground. It's another thing to have it a finished product before it ships out.
That's right. And so, working with that, and in England, there's 125% tariff on milled rice, 25% tariff on patio or unmilled rice.
Okay.
And so, but if it's prepackaged, because we are uniform, we're consistent, we're high quality, right? And so now the people that are buying rice in the United Kingdom are very, very, very specific on what they want. Aromatic rice, they want medium grain. They want this type, this protein. They want this stickiness. They want this flavor profile.
And we can,
absolutely. It's a big deal. They want what they want.
Like sushi rice?
That's exactly right. They want exactly what they want. And it's mostly the new ethnic groups in England that want a particular type of rice.
Okay.
England was never a big country on eating rice.
I wouldn't imagine so.
They weren't. We're working on it. And so we're trying to send them over some gumbo mix and show them how to make gumbo. Mm-hmm. Right. And all those other things to increase their rice consumption. But the rice they want, they are very, 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 very specific. Like you want to have, CDM or community coffee or, whatever coffee you want. That's the coffee you want.
Yeah,
exactly. You want that same
on a
flavor.
River Road kick right now.
That's right. You're on a River Road. You want that flavor profile. Well, they want the same thing with their rice. And we can deliver that, unlike other states. Mm-hmm. Other states that grow rice, all that rice is blended. You got a sack of rice. Right here, we can trace it back, to the farms, and we put it in the silos. Very unique, and we brought to them our high protein, low glycemic rice. And they said, "We've never seen this." So, new product, a new avenue.
And if they download the Mathern's Rewards app, they can get the 5-pound bag of Supreme Rice, medium grain Supreme Rice.
And we brought us a bag. We bought that bag. Yes, we brought 50 pounds of rice with us.
We're gonna close it out next. Here's your money now. That's right. That's the deal. Damn right it was.
That's right.
The deal of the week this week.
Yes, we brought that rice, and we brought the big bag of rice.
Talking about, I follow Brit's Cooking.
On
TikTok, and she talks about the Supreme rice all the time. And
she's
good. Like, look, I'm not saying eating rice in excess is healthy, but she's like, if you want.
How can it be in excess?
Well,
I mean, look at all those Cajuns live a long, long life. Look at them.
I know we do.
Right? Yeah.
Every culture that lives on Indians, Vietnamese, like
I'm Indian. I'm Native American.
No, I meant.
He meant the other Indian.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. Okay, so I should know this. Where are you originally from? Are you from the Acadiana region?
No, ma'am. I'm from the Florida parishes, St. Tammany Parish. My family's been there since the mid 1800s.
Okay.
And some of my family has been there since the early 1800s.
Do you get that a lot?
What's that?
Crowley.
That I sound like I'm from Crowley?
In the Acadiana area?
Well, my grandmother was French. Her mother was a bourgeois and she was an Acadian from Nova Scotia Acadians. Her husband, right, was a Marangeau from Marangeau, France. So he is Parisian and Acadian. And then on my grandfather's side, we are French from the West Indies, West Indies French.
Okay.
So when you put all that amalgamation together, my accent comes from the Florida parishes. We're Creoles, actually, because we're more French Creole than we are Acadian, but we're more French Creole.
Originally 21 years, but I moved to Lafayette for 7 years. And I was picking up what I was like, I don't know if it's Saint Bernard or if it's.
Well, there could be a little bit of Saint Bernard in it, but that's close by, right? Yes. But we're old French Creoles.
Love it.
Been in the same spot, same places since the mid 1800s and the early 1800s, actually. Yeah, we can trace it back, right? Yeah, part of what our genealogies. Yeah, we didn't do the DNA yet, but we've done a lot of genealogy, and some have. Yeah.
And then that's how we found out that she's
But we have tracked. Most of our family are buried in the family cemeteries.
Okay.
So the New Strain Cemetery was established in 1900. The First Strain Cemetery is the oldest cemetery in St. Tammany Parish. The Sharps, the Strains, and the Spells are buried behind Chintuba Oak.
Spells.
That's right, the Spells behind Chintuba Oak and Mandeville.
Yep.
And that goes into the mid 1800s.
No.
And then the other family members that came in the early 1800s, we're still trying to find the cemetery. We can't find the actual No, we think it's been paved over. A number of cemeteries were paved over in St. Tammany Parish.
I got married in Blue State Park.
Okay. Yeah. So the plantation there, the Marangi plantation, when they tore it down, right? The lumber came, and an architect by the name of Schmeiser, he was a German architect, built a mansion there out of that lumber. My grandfather bought that mansion when he sold his company, the Abita Water Company, the Abita Water. He sold that in the 1930s and 40s. He sold that because he used to send water, and he was friends with the Tusa family and Central Grocery. And so then he bought that mansion and tore it to the ground to build a, quote, conventional home. So the lumber in my grandmother's house came from the Marangi plantation.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, they would reuse the lumber over. That was
sit here and listen to your stories all day long.
Yeah. Because I can, and so we remember where the foundations were of the mansion, and we remember the wood stove. The wood stove of the old mansion looked like the back of it was like a model of the White House. It was in metal, and we don't know whatever happened to it, but I can remember as a kid seeing that sitting out there. Yeah. But we know, but before there was a mansion there was an old cabin that was there since the early 1800s on that same plantation, same farm. Yeah. So there's a lot of history that steps down generationally.
Wow.
Yes.
We got married, it was by the lake at sunset. Like in the Blue State Park. I loved it.
So if you read the history of the Napoleon House, you will see the pirate captains Dominic Yu and Joseph St. Ange de Bassier, who took the brig, the Seraphim, to go get Napoleon. It was named for Seraphim Cucullu, and the ship was owned by the Cucullu family, and its captains were Dominic Yu and Joseph St. Ange, who is my grandfather's great grandfather, Joseph St. Ange. Yes. So yeah, now you call it. So if you go to New Orleans, like Lambert Boissier, well, it's actually de Bassier. And so our families all started off in the islands, the West Indies. So actually we're distant cousins, the Boissiers and I, through our great grandfathers. That's why Lambert will go to a crowd and come and say, "Hey, cousin," and people look and say, "Y'all don't look alike." So, well, actually the families do look a lot alike. Right. Yeah, some of our families look a lot alike. So yeah, but there's a lot of history but you have to continue to understand it and to touch it and track it. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't track back any farther than the Irish Channel. So
yeah, we keep looking. There's more and more data all the time.
Yeah, no, it's amazing what's out there. Back get us back to 1892.
The finder grade works except with the cyber technology. Okay. Yeah. They use stone to find stone.
856 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We do a little farm to studio once a month with our ag commissioner, Dr. Mike Strain. We got 3.5 minutes left, and we're going to stay on topic for this one.
Really? Which topic?
I'm curious to know what a tree for every parish is.
Yes, that's part of the Liberty Tree program. If you look originally, the Liberty Tree was the tree
where the Sons of Liberty would gather prior to the signing of the Declaration of Independence. And so the Liberty Tree program, and this was started by Representative Michael Bayham, and the goal is to plant a oak tree in every parish, 250-year celebration of this country. And so what we did is that I bought, oak trees, nice oak trees, and there in Washington Parish. And we have already planted the first one in St. Tammany Parish. Washington Parish is picking those up. And the goal is to plant them across the state, Liberty trees. And these trees will grow for hundreds of years. And so it is a big celebration. And again, Liberty Tree is part of America 250.
Okay, so, but we're not just planting any trees here. We're planting live oaks.
No,
though,
these
right?
are live oaks.
Yeah.
These are nice, and they're nice 3-gallon live oaks. And so we pick them up and we're going to get them.
What's the lifespan of a live oak?
That thing will live 200, 300 years.
Yeah.
Right. And much. Yeah. I have a live oak over by the Capitol that I planted with the state forester like 25 years ago. Oh, that's a big deal,
Okay.
And when families plant these live oaks, and just like this, there's a lot of buy-in. So you think about 200 years from now, when somebody said, what is this Liberty Tree? Who planted that?
Right.
And you think about that legacy, but also it's continuing the legacy of the Liberty Tree. It's part of our celebration.
Of course, this is a Michael Bayham thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, yes, absolutely. He
Good old
called
Bayham.
me. He said, look, I need some oak trees. I said, okay. So I want to plant an oak. I said, well, what are you looking for? He said, well, we want to do a Liberty Tree. I said, no, we got to have some nice, we don't need the little seedlings.
Right.
We need some nice oak trees.
Okay.
Right. So, yes. So we contacted Dub's Nursery and they're in Washington Parish on Otto Passman Road. So look, he said, how many you need? I said, well, I need 64 oak trees. He said, okay. I said, not a problem. And so, so I used some campaign funds and bought those trees.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's a good deal. It's a wonderful thing. Done and done. And we're kind of moving them around, getting them there and pre-staging them. But it's a good thing.
It is.
It's like,
well, if nothing else, it's a good thing. It's just,
forget about planting trees, planting beautiful oak trees. And these are live oak trees. These are not water oaks, live oaks. Right. And when you plant that live oak, you got to remember, all right, it's going to be here for 200 years, right?
And those roots are going to spread out.
What? Yeah. So don't plant it where you have utility lines,
right?
Or next to a sidewalk, unless you don't want the sidewalk, right?
No, tree versus sidewalk. Tree is going to win.
Tree is going to win every time. Isn't it amazing the power of that tree root?
It really is.
Yes, indeed.
All
But
right.
that's the Liberty Tree program, and it's moving forward. And they passed a resolution in the legislature, kind of urging and requesting. So it's a lot of fun, but it has meaning. Here we are.
We'll follow up with Bayham on that for sure because he's
That's
doing
right.
a lot of stuff for 250. So
yes, he is.
We will. He's Ag Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain. We always appreciate the time. Oh, we just ran out of time.
All right, you can come with me to Alexandria. That's where we're headed next.
Is that where we're going next?
Yes, Louisiana Association Conservation District's Master Farmer Program.
Okay.
Yeah.
You going to DC Mardi Gras?
No, sir. I can't. I just cannot because if I'd go to DC Mardi Gras, I wouldn't get home for a month. No, I'm serious because you got DC Mardi Gras, and then that same Sunday starts the Ag Commissioners meeting, and then with the Ag Commissioners meeting, I would go from there directly to the veterinary medical meeting, and then from the veterinary medical meeting, I'd go directly to Africa, and so I'd be gone a month. And I said, no. I said, no, no. Look,
understood.
I was gone most of December. I went to England, and that was,
and then you went to Pasadena.
Then we had just a couple of days home for Christmas, and then we went to Pasadena.
Yeah.
So no, I just no, logistically, it doesn't work.
Understood.
So and I lecture at the veterinary medical meeting, so I have to be there, and then all these, and then everything else is kind of.
Well, I'll be making the track. I'll be making the track again.
Well, good. Have fun.
We sell a sponsorship package for it, and I do 4 shows up there in 2 days.
Oh, wow.
I'll do my morning drive show Thursday and Friday.
So will you be
I'll
at
do
the
an afternoon drive
65th
show.
parish? You'll be in the bar?
I will.
In the corner of the bar?
I avoid the 65th parish because that's a fight for chairs.
Boy, isn't it, huh? Isn't that amazing? Everybody should experience DC Mardi Gras at least once.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when I go, I'll be the guy standing on the floor with the long cape and the feather. I'm an officer. Can you imagine that, right? Wait, it's even worse. Wait, I'm a senior lieutenant.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It means I'm getting old. Yeah, you don't want to be chair. You don't want to be emeritus of anything, right?
No.
Hell, I'm chairman emeritus of many things now. I said, what do you mean? Well, that's part of the, chairman emeritus. Yeah, well, I'm the dean of the statewide officials. I've been around longer than any of them.
Goodness gracious.
Probably longer than most. If you put them all together, I've probably been there longer.
Yeah, I know. I want to get in the crew eventually, but you say everybody should go once. I would say everybody should go twice.
Yeah.
You go once to do all the official stuff, and then you go once again
to have fun,
to skip all the official stuff.
That's
and
right.
Then, it's those surrounding parties.
Oh, I know.
It's
running
around Adams Morgan like I'm still in college. You know?
Yeah.
But
I go every few years, and I've been going for 20 years.
So what I love is the amount of business that gets started. Not business that gets done, business that gets started. And the follow-up is once you get home.
And the other part of that is that the hatchets that get buried. Does that make sense? You're there in a friendly social setting, and you may have had a disagreement. You can sit down and visit, and everything is in that.
The lobby of the Hilton is like the home of the bipartisan bear hug.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing.
It's a wonderful thing.
I forget who it was said it's almost like the legislature goes on retreat.
It's true.
Which makes my job, I look at my job there is in order to share what's going on without getting in the way of what's going on.
That's right.
I don't want like lights and cameras on to make people have to still be on. No, you clock out.
And the other thing is I'm traveling across the world. I'm bringing legislators with me.
Good.
And it's and it serves a number of purposes. One, and the truth is when we go to the embassies, right, it brings clout, but also they have a firsthand deep understanding of what we're doing on the ground game to move these products. And then what we need, because we'll be told by the embassies or we'll be told by the exporters of the guilds, this is what you need to do. And this is what you got to do. And then we work together to get it done.
As much as I hate politics, I love governance. And that's governance. And that's what.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
All right, my friend.
All right. Appreciate it as always.
See you soon.
Yes.
Right?
See you soon.
That's right. Up. Right.
Oh, are we still on? Are we on? Yeah. We'll see y'all tomorrow.
See y'all tomorrow.
I know. I'm like, tell her.
Only eat good gumbo.